If it hurts, you ain't the brakes, no get you, don't let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our leading our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut sides, through the games after this win in. First, you again, we're here for the first minute. Can everybody keep it there for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top! You'll always be. Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. Who got my back? I got your back. We play for another. We fight for another. Every fight, every play, every round. Hey, Tennessee on 2. 1, 2. Tennessee. Ball, that team ready. Ball, that team ready. Ball, that team ready. To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS that my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. That man right over there, is Coach Jay. Foul Mings in the house, and we are here for the commitment of 4-star athlete legend Bay. He's scheduled to make a decision tonight. He's going to choose between Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. But really, that may be 5 teams, but this thing feels like a Texas A&M and Tennessee battle. A lot of fireworks, a lot of twists and turns down the stretch here. Hopefully, we are about to add an elite athlete with elite track speed into this class of 2026. Boys, Foul Ming, how we feeling? How we feeling on decision day? How we feeling about Legend Bay?
Man, I feel good, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Texas A&M, they stress me out, man. Anytime you're talking about Texas, that old money, little NIL, stress, a little pressure there. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, A&M set NIL records before. They got deep pockets. Those deep pockets can be very, very, very convincing. I'll believe it when he's in the boat. I'll be really happy if he gets in the boat, but I think we're going to have to fight for this one right down to the very last minute, whether he jumps in the boat today or not. So we'll see if we can come out of all 12 rounds on top, but definitely really, really huge to get him in the boat right now. And the momentum that Tennessee has, whew, man, I'll tell you what, Tristan Keys perking up, hitter picking up, looking good right now, man. Balls are hot on the recruiting trail.
It's another one of those where I really think we're leaning on Faison to maybe close the deal for us over top of maybe Texas's NIL money. Maybe connections and chemistry will win out the day.
So you're telling me if we make it to the end of the night and we land Legend Bay, then maybe it's not always just about money. And look, here's the bottom line. Money's involved, right? You don't get a guy that's ranked just outside the on 300. You don't get him without paying him. But if it's close, Tennessee's going to make a comparable. That's what drives me nuts. It's not like LSU and Ohio State and these teams are out here dropping $700,000 in Tennessee's like, we'll give you 3. They're going to make a comparable offer. And when you make comparable offers, Coach, then culture, family, atmosphere, relationships win out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great culture. If you guys haven't been watching all the player interviews we've done on this channel, Boogie created a playlist the other day. Go watch those. You will see a overarching, resounding theme. These are all really, really, really good kids, really, really high character. Yeah, money's a little piece of it, guys, but if it comes down to culture, if it comes down to scheme, all these things, I think we do have a big edge over someone like Texas A&M at the end of the day. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's exciting. I'll tell you what, though, man. This is a really big fish, and I got to confess, I hadn't watched the film. I hadn't seen any film on Legend Bay, Boogie.
Ooh.
But as you know, you put me to work, and yeah, he's got really, really interesting film. We'll put it that way. He's got a couple things in there that that perked my interest. We'll put it that way. I'd like to see him run some routes. I dare not say we'll put him at the quarterback position, but the kid's got a lot of speed, and as we'll see in a minute when we break down that film, he can stop on a dime with the best of them. Names like Percy Harvin, Reggie Bush, and Bryce Brown come into mind when you're talking about the kid's stop and go and his speed and quickness. You hear me all the time rap about being quick, and some kids are fast. Legend Bay happens to fit the bill of the rare kids that are quick and fast. So special kid.
You mentioned this is the way this show works. So we get on and we start talking. I'm like, I got to fill all this time, and we've rambled for 7 minutes. I've not even said hello to the chat, and I'm gonna say hello to the chat. But you mentioned a couple of names here. Here's the bottom line: if we land Legend Bay is going to play the wide receiver position. That's what Tennessee's recruiting him for.
Yeah.
Duke was recruiting him to play quarterback. He's an athlete. He can play anywhere on the field. But this picture right here, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Who is that in the middle? That's not Tyreek King in the middle. Shout out, by the way, to Vol Scoops in the chat. Vol Scoops could probably tell me who that is in the middle. But you got Faison Brandon. He's down there in front. You've got Tristan Keys. You've got Legend Bay, who at the time of this photo, a lot of people said he was trending to Texas A&M. What's the secret? What's the secret that these guys know that we don't know? And here we approach decision day for Legend Bay. Some people think he may be kind of throwing a little curveball at us, but Foul Ming, sign me up for this. Sign me up for the number 1 ranked quarterback in the country, Faison Brandon. Sign me up for an elite athlete with 10-200-meter track speed in the slot. Give me Tristan Keys, the number 1 ranked wide receiver in the country. And oh, by the way, we already got Tyreek King in the boat. Give me those 3 guys and put Savion Hyder in the backfield, and let's go freaking light up the scoreboard. Light up the scoreboard. Come on, boy.
100%. Like you brought it up 1,000 times. Like, when you're at the top of the leaderboards, like some of these guys, some of the higher end players, everybody's getting paid. It doesn't matter what school you go to, what you can pick across the country, wherever they're going, they're getting paid. So then we got to go to the next step. Well, what's the next step? Well, look who they're going to play with. Well, you look at a photo like this, and they're athletes at the top of the list across the board. Who wouldn't want to be a part of this combination of players? Then you throw in Coach Heupel and his high energy, high speed offense, slinging the ball over the place. And not to mention, like, we're always leading in rushing every year. So we get Hyder in the boat. That's just another toy for Heupel to play with. And I mean, where do you go wrong with this? I mean, well, if you're a high school just athlete in general, I mean, whether you want to go running back, quarterback, wide receiver, why would you not want to be a part of this? Why would you not want to be in this offense? I mean, things are looking good for the good guys. If you can't tell, I'm a little excited, but things are looking good for the good guys for once.
I'm giddy about this class of 26. And AP, somebody asked him about it, and he said it may be a little top heavy, right? You got the number 1 quarterback, the number 1 running back, the number 1 wide receiver. It may be a little top heavy, but let me tell you something. That's good. That's going to be just fine, because I trust
That's the problem I like to have.
You got 5-star offensive tackles on campus right now. David Sanders is a freshman. He's just 1 year older than these kids. I've got to say hello to the chat because we've got 500 people watching. We're going to take you all the way up to the decision. Tennessee's landed 3 commits in the last 24 hours. We're going to talk a little bit about them. We're going to talk about the commitment, the recruitment of Legend Bay. We're going to watch some film on him. Let's go take a look and see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Buddy Combs becomes a member. Shout out, Buddy. I need you guys. I need memberships. It's $1. It's $1. There is a join button down below. It's right down there beside subscribe. If you're on an iPhone, first of all, throw it in the trash can. But until you can wait, you can hold on to it. Go to the description. There is a link in the description where you can join the channel. $1. We're going to be doing members only streams coming up soon. Shout out, buddy. Appreciate you. Noah's been a member for 31 months. Shout out, Noah. Let's see. Ihiro Kirishima. I hope I nailed that. Became a member of the channel. We appreciate you as well. Derek Chappell, $2 super chat. That's a door fee. We also appreciate door fees around here. Todd Landers also for $2 says door fee. Go Big Orange. Shout out, Todd. We appreciate you. Peyton K drops a 20 spot, and that is the color orange. And if you drop an orange super chat, we got to play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Are you muted, Boogie?
I think Boogie's muted.
I'm muted.
We saw a shirt around here.
I'm not muted.
Oh, okay, I couldn't hear you for a minute there.
Just for a second, I couldn't hear you either. But over
Yeah, I
on
couldn't hear
Bonfire,
you for a second. Yeah,
Did I
over on
get
Bonfire, you
the,
might find a shirt that.
Yeah.
I wasn't muted. I didn't make a mistake. It wasn't a mistake of me. It was a mistake of StreamYard, I guess. Did you guys get the Rolly Season membership? Did you hear any of that? Shout out Rolly Season. We appreciate you, brother. Tyler Maxwell for 5, ready to clear this gap in talent. This kid is a dog. Neyland is the best environment in sports, and I'm ready for Saturdays. God bless and go Vols. Wayne drops a 20 spot. That's orange. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Now, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I just wondered if it was the clip. Wayne drops a 20 spot. That ain't cheap. GBO, come on home, Bay. We appreciate you, brother. Vol Scoop, shout out Vol Scoops. Go follow Vol Scoops on Twitter. I've been saying I'm going to get him on the channel forever, and we've never made it happen. You know, I actually invited him, and he ghosted me, and he never responded until after the live stream. So that's on Vol Scoops. But I appreciate the support, brother. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Johnny B is going to lead us into the next topic of conversation. He says, Dorfy, what about Zayden Anderson, Mr. Speed from Northeast Tennessee? Get him. Hope we get Legend excited to see the possibilities. Love this channel, GBO. Shout out Johnny B. We appreciate you guys. Pull up a chair. Smash the thumbs up. If you've not smashed the thumbs up, smash the thumbs up. That is quick, free, and easy. That's an easy little way that you can support this channel. But let's talk about Zayden Anderson. We're going to talk about these commits, right? 3 commits in the last 24 hours. Kedric Golston, the second, a 4-star edge rusher. Edward Baker, a 3-star interior offensive lineman. And then Zayden Anderson, 3-star athlete. We're going to come back because somebody predicted we were going to get 5 commits. We'll come back to that here in just a second. But when we talk about Zayden Anderson, 2-way player playing wide receiver and corner, named Region 1-4A Athlete of the Year. He was also a track and field guy, right? I'm not a track guy. I know Legend Bay runs a 10.2. He runs a 10.7 in the 100-meter, 21.59 in the 200-meter. My thing about this that I liked, yes, he's a 3-star, and everybody can say 3-star. You can say whatever you want. He's ranked 515th nationally. 515th nationally. In-state kid. I saw somebody over at VolQuest say that's right around where Ricky Gibson was when Tennessee offered. I think everybody knows who Ricky Gibson is. But something that was interesting to me, typically you get a 3-star kid that nobody cares about, nobody has interest in. Steve Wiltfong's not talking about him. Steve Wiltfong's talking about your blue chippers, your 5-stars. After this commitment, Steve Wiltfong put out an article, and he said, although Anderson maybe isn't as highly recruited as the traditional Tennessee recruit, he has tremendous speed and big playability if lined up in the secondary, has the traits to run with just about every wide receiver in the SEC. VolQuest put out an article after the commitment and said they got him on campus, measured him, and then immediately gave him the offer. Because of the length, because of the speed, they said it's exactly what you're looking for. And again, the comparison to Ricky Gibson as far as where he's ranked. Falming, when you saw this commitment, I'm sure you were scrambling like I was to see what's going down. What are your thoughts on this kid?
Yeah, exactly. I went straight to. I actually was about an hour behind, but I saw it over on Twitter X. But immediately after doing a little rundown, started getting more and more excited about this kid because it's the exact trend that we've seen over multiple recruits, people who have committed and ones on the way. It's athleticism, right? It's versatility. Because you look, like you mentioned some things there for track. He's also went Final Four, took his team Final Four in basketball. I think it seems to be a trend all over this defense because he can play he's versatile. He can play multiple spots in the backfield. He was all state on both sides of the football. Obviously, they're going to primarily play him at corner. But as soon as I see that, I think, okay, well, he could probably line up at corner, could play star maybe, could play in certain situations, certain packages, play safety even if you needed. So anytime I see a kid like this, he's 6'1", 170, he's going to put on a little bit of size probably once he gets on campus. So, yeah, sign me up, man. More athleticism, more speed on the defensive side of the ball.
I want to do this for Coach Jay. I know Coach Jay was out there swimming in the swimming pool, spending time with family, but he paused to jump on here with us, which I greatly appreciate. Coach, I'm assuming you've not watched any film on him, but you know how to let it rip. You know how to just jump in, get in where you fit in. So I'm going to throw the highlights up. I'm going to let it roll and just kind of walk us through this and tell us what you see from the film from Zayden Anderson.
Playing wide receiver right here, just on a little pose. Ooh, that just the body control and the handwork to come around that backer and make that catch. Just nothing special on the route running on the post. Let's see here. Quarterback dropped the ball. Might want to hold on to that. Numbnuts catches the ball behind him. So once again, showing good hands, fast. He's not really running right there. Reminds me of when you're watching a horse race and there's just the faster horse and the jockey doesn't need to get on the whip at all. He can just hand ride him to a victory on a little post right here, fits through the gap. Look, he's not even trying, and he's 2 steps ahead of everyone.
Which, by the way, he plays at Greenville High School. Shout out BVD. We miss you, brother. Put those BVD emojis in the chat. I would love to see or hear what BVD thought about landing this commitment because I'm sure he would be all about it.
Yeah, rest in peace, BVD. Greenville got a good one here, just super fast once again. Good feet right there, nice choppy feet. Good hips too. That little straight arm with a hip switch on the turn, really good hips. And you know what? If I'm looking at you for a cornerback, you guys hear me yelling about cornerbacks and their hips all the times. You got to have good hips as a corner and good hands. And kid looks like he's got both. I didn't really get to see his true speed in there because he never had to use it. But you can tell by him just slowly trotting around that he's got another gear. So exciting to see.
Let's go back to
if he can hit.
Let's go back to this tweet. I wanted to talk about this because this came out yesterday. Hayes Fawcett, again, if you don't know who Hayes Fawcett is, he works for On3 now. He's a dude that started by saying, hey, if you guys want a graphic when you commit, hit me up, I'll do it. It blew up. He became the guy. Why? Because kids want the attention, right? He's got a ton of followers. He puts it out. It blows up. I use his graphics all the time. And he put this out yesterday. Orange times 5. So he thinks we've got 5. I think he knows. I shouldn't say thinks. He knows we've got 5 commits coming soon because he's working on their graphics. And again, we've landed 3 commits in the last 24 hours. So if we're expected to get 5 players, let's say we land Legend Bay tonight. What about TJ White? What about Darion Albert? Fowl, who do you think the 5 guys are? We know we got Kedric Golston. We know we got Edward Baker. We know we got Zayden Anderson. I'm setting you up here. We'll see if you take the bait. Who are the 5?
Well, right there. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I think we're trending for TJ. I think we're trending for Albert. I'm excited. I don't think we've had the 2 teammates on the same day land with the good guys before. So let's just put them in the boat, man. Put them in the boat. That's where I would put my chips if that's what you're leaning towards there, Boogie.
See, sometimes, Coach, sometimes you're sitting in the bass boat and you throw that lure out there and you're hoping you get a bite and you don't. But sometimes the bait's so good, you throw it out there and they're like, oh, they take the bait and they say, yeah, you're right, Boogie. We've got we've already got 3 commits. We got the teammates coming up. But let me tell you something. If you pay attention to the graphics, right? Let me do a little storytelling here. If you pay attention to the graphics, Zayden Anderson did not use a Hayes Fawcett graphic. So just go ahead and let's remove that one from the conversation.
Okay.
So we've landed Kedric Golston. We've landed Edward Baker. So now we're looking at Legend Bay tonight, and Foul Ming's already mentioned the two teammates. So let me put on my tinfoil hat, Foul Ming. 24 hours ago, when this tweet came out from Hayes Fawcett, a lot of people felt like Legend Bay was going to end up at Texas A&M. A lot of people felt like he was trending to Texas A&M. So is Legend Bay one of the five? Because I think we can go ahead and count Golston, Baker, and then TJ Watt and Darion Albert. Those are 4 of the 5. So is Legend Bay that 5th? Coach Shay's got his tinfoil hat on. Or is Legend Bay a nice little bonus here? Because, again, when this tweet came out, most of the experts, most of the insiders felt like it was Texas A&M. I feel like if he had already talked to Hayes Fawcett, guess what? I think that Steve Wiltfong would know, and we'd be talking about Tennessee 24 hours ago instead of talking about Tennessee as of today.
I think there might be something to that, Boogie. I really do. And I like a good tinfoil theory, but I think that could definitely be what's going on here. No matter which way you slice it, we're on a hot streak, man. And it feels good on the recruiting trail. I'm happy to see a lot of people in this chat today. Because I'll tell you what, I know Boogie lately. I know me lately. I was talking to a USC buddy of mine. They're sitting on a #1 class. He was depressed. He was like, oh, man, I don't even care about high school recruiting anymore. Transfer portal, everyone leaves anyway. But I'll tell you what, you dang well should care about high school recruiting still, because it's that in conjunction with the transfer portal that is going to build championship teams. And I'll tell you what, Ohio State certainly cared about high school recruiting on their way to a national championship last year. And Vol fans, I'm happy to see you in the chat caring about this, but I think you're spot on there, Boogie. I think we might be a little bit into the bonus with this day we got on top of us.
I think you bring up a good point there, Coach, that we need to mention Tennessee's on an absolute heater right now. Like we need to. I know we get caught up in the moment and this guy to the next guy to the next guy, but we need to stop and appreciate that for a moment, because all the time we see in the chat, can't recruit, Heupel can't recruit, can't get it done, no top guys, and then we just go down this list of just athlete after athlete after athlete everybody wants on their team. You can say 3-star this, 3-star that, whatever, but then you look and see who they're being recruited by, and it knocks that out the window. And then you brought up another point. You can't just depend on the portal. I think we've seen that. We've seen teams try to do that. We've seen Ole Miss try to do that. Last time I checked, Ole Miss didn't make playoffs last year. But I think what it's going to come down to is who can maintain the high school recruiting, who can maintain these blue chippers, and then just plug and play when you have to with the transfer portal. Plug in when you have a position of need, or if a guy happens to transfer out, or you double up at a position, lose a guy here, lose a guy there, and need depth, then plug and play. And you've seen that with this team and this staff in this offseason. Everybody was talking, I think we're 30th in the transfer portal class or something like that. That's not as important to me as who's in there. Like, what did we need? We needed some depth in the offensive line. I think we filled those holes. We needed somebody to come in and check in for Mod when he needs it and until he gets healthy, right? We plugged that hole, maybe better than we even expected to.
Yeah.
So I think we need to stop and take a moment and appreciate this staff and what they've accomplished, all things considered, here lately.
I think the key is what you just laid out. I think you got to recruit in high school, and even like I don't, obviously you want to recruit at an elite level. That's what you're trying to do. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think it's as big of an impact if you miss. Like take Savion Hyder, for example, #1 ranked running back in the country. I saw somebody ask Austin Price just last night, what happens if we miss on Savion Hyder? He said transfer portal. Like, that's your fallback. That's your backup option. And sure, if the right guy's there and you can go get him and you can go drop the bag, then do that. But I think it drives me nuts when people say Heupel's been terrible in the portal. No, he's been really good. He has filled so many holes. Like you talked about, we knew we needed some guys on the offensive line. So you go out and you get Sam Pendleton and Wendell Moy Jr. Like those are guys that have playing time, and they also have years in front of them. Like those two guys were home runs. You don't expect your quarterback to leave the day of the spring game. You don't expect that. You also, like, maybe we needed to add a wide receiver for depth. But when this coaching staff, we've laid this out a million times, they didn't expect Squirrel White to leave. So when he left, it's kind of like, what do we do now? I think They missed there. They needed just depth. But again, it's hard. It's hard to get depth. How do you sell somebody in the portal? Oh, we got Braylon and we got Mike and we got Chris Brazel. So you're going to come in and you're going to sit the bench. Who's signing up for that? And then what happens? Okay, well, I'm going to go get somebody that I think's better than them. I'm going to go spin this bag, and then that kid transfers in, and then Mike's like, deuces, I'm out. Like we talked about Mike and him flirting with the portal as it was. So, like, I think Josh Heupel has done a good job with roster management, keeping Arian Carter, keeping Boo Carter, keeping Ricky Gibson. There's so many more layers to it than just recruiting at the high school level.
When's the last time you saw Tennessee offensive line with 2 5-star tackles on each end? And oh, by the way, one's a transfer and one's a true freshman from a high school recruit. So did we not just nail both parts? Did we not just nail a transfer portal commitment? Did we not just nail a high school commitment? I mean, I don't see the complaints here. I mean, I know you can poke holes and say, well, I didn't get this guy that I wanted. I didn't get that guy that I wanted. But if you step back for 2 seconds and look at the big picture, I think Hop's doing a pretty good job right now.
Landon says, we had Wanye and Darnell. Yeah, how long ago was that? How long ago was that? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me catch up with the chat here. Will R has been a member for 38 months. We appreciate you, Will. Cordell Luttrell, I recognize that name. He's around here all the time. He becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Dirt McGirt, been a member for 21 months. BTSH, member for 7 months. We appreciate those members. If you're not a member, hit that join button and fix it. But if you don't want to do that, you don't think that we're worth $1, hit the thumbs up. It's quick, free, and easy. We would appreciate it. We got almost 700 people watching live. We're going to take you all the way up to the decision from Legend Bay. 4-star athlete coming off the board tonight. Elite speed. He's going to choose between Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. What's the move? Where do you think this thing is trending? Put it in the chat. But we've been talking about Tennessee being on a heater. We've landed 3 commits within the last 24 hours or so. I want to talk about this guy. I want to talk about this guy right here. And Coach Jay talking about me putting him to work on Legends Bay. I also put him to work on this guy because when Edward Baker committed, there's no scouting report. 247 Sports, they're lazy. On 3, they're lazy. Coach Jay says, yes, sir. I'll jump in the film room immediately. So, Coach, you watched a little bit of film on Edward Baker. He commits. Rankings-wise, not that impressive. He's 1,159th in the country overall. 112th best interior offensive lineman. But you've watched a little tape. What did you see as he commits to Tennessee over Ole Miss, NC State, Virginia, and Arkansas? Had some good offers. Texas A&M, Auburn, Florida, Alabama. What do you see on the film?
Strong. Really, really, really strong. Good, fast feet. He's quick. He's quick. He plays offensive tackle in high school. Obviously, he projects at a guard at the next level, but he's fast for someone his size, as heavy as he is, really strong, plays with a really, really nasty disposition inside. One thing that I really, really love about him is he does not give up sacks, like never, ever, 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 ever gets up sacks, keeps his quarterback clean, can be a little guilty of playing out over his toes, as I mentioned to you specifically when working his way into the second level on run plays, pulls with a lot of aggression, low through the chute when he's pulling. I like this kid a lot. And not only that, from a star ranking standpoint, he reminds me of another kid from St. Francis there in Baltimore, Idris Farouk, who had a 3-star ranking, who I think has shown early at the University of Tennessee that, you know, he's worth more than those stars. When you're playing against nothing but the best high schools in America week in and week out, it can dim that shine that gets put on a high school player occasionally. And I think that's what's happened here. I kind of got him more as a 4-star, but I like it. I think they nailed the evaluation and a good prospect.
Go ahead.
No, just him flat backing that kid with his both arms in. Like, you know, he's just so strong. His hand placement at times can get a little lazy into the outside, but when he's got to pull you down like that or straight through you, keep his feet choppy. We see here he turns a player. I know that would tick off Kyle Kerbiston because he doesn't like highlights to be just turning people. you know that you're stronger than. But he's a bully. He's inherently a bully when you watch all of his film. It jumps off the tape, and I'll tell you what, I like my guards to be bullies. I can think of a guard we had recently who was a bully in Sprague. And before Sprague got hurt, he was really, really a bully inside. And this kid's the same. You see, he will not stop, and he makes sure you're on the parliamentary side of your tail after every single play. Nice wide stance, but look how quick he is.
Quick feet. Exactly. That's exactly
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
really.
Coach.
Yeah, fast, right? Really, really fast and violent with his hands. I like him a lot. It's safe to say I like him a lot. I just don't like that he reaches occasionally. But beyond that, kick step's good. Little back kick step, stepping kick. Once again, I think he gave up like 0 sacks the last 2 years.
Speak on that. Speak on St. Francis and the level of high school program that is. And you know, I read your scouting report, and then I was putting some other stuff together, and I saw that and I know you mentioned St. Francis and what you texted me, and then when I was looking at it and saw that he didn't give up a single sack, that's huge.
Well, pause it right there. You go back to that last play. You see those helmets? That is the red. That is the white 3 stripes of a team out here in the Trinity League. That would be the #1 team in America every year for the last 5 years in a row, modern day. The champs of the Trinity League out here. He's not going against chumps. These are 5-star kids. Every single kid on that defense I think it was one of the first year in the last 10 years. Every single one of those kids is going to a D1 school.
So talk about what you see on this play. He's going to get somebody legit playing right tackle.
Yeah.
What do you see on this play?
Watch here. Give me just a couple seconds. Step kick outside, keeping him in front of him. The DN's reading him. Doesn't really need to do anything. I like how his base is wider than the defensive end in front of him, right? So no matter which way he goes, he can just kick step into position. Give me a couple more seconds of it, but just a second or two. Look, kick steps out, crosses his feet right there. Didn't like that. I'd like another kick step. Very good foul. Hands inside tight, right? The guy's trying to bend around him. All he needs to do is keep riding him outside, and he's going to get a wash. Let's see if he gets it. Wash. Yep, just washes him outside.
And you see that official right there on top of it. All it would take is a little bit of laziness, a little bit of loss of concentration, and let them hands get outside, and you're going to get a flag right there and lose a touchdown, it looked like. But something I missed until you brought it up, the talent that he was going against, because I didn't know that. I'm not familiar with that team as much as you. But once you say that, and then I hear that he's playing, inside here, guard here, but where he's playing tackle there and still have the quick feet, still have the speed and hand placement on somebody of that talent level, could you imagine him on the inside pulling? You imagine, 6'4", 315? That's as a junior or whatever he is right now.
With athleticism.
Right. That's what. Could you imagine that train coming on a pull? I mean,
yeah. When
getting a little excited over here. Getting a little excited.
He pulls with a lot of strength too. Like he just does, man. And when he gets moving through that chute, he just knocks the bejesus out of everyone. And the talent level. And he goes against all the big boys: Bishop Gorman, IMG, Servite, John Bosco. But if you're lining up against Modern Day, I mean, you're talking about a team that beat John Bosco and Bishop Gorman and IMG out of Florida. I think they beat those 3 schools by combined like 72 points last year. So if you want to F around and find out, head over to the Trinity League and play Modern Day.
And again, 0 sacks allowed.
Yeah.
But something else I want to talk about, and I get it. Don't read the comments, right, Falming? Never read the comments. I made the video yesterday because we got a commitment from Kedric Golston, and I knew Edward Baker was coming. I didn't know Golston was coming. So I had made a video about Baker. That's when Coach Jay sent me the scouting report. Then Golston commits, and I was like, I got to redo this and talk about both guys. So I made one video talking about a 4-star edge rusher and a 3-star interior offensive lineman. And I get comments saying 3-star U. People want to form their own narrative, right? They want to form their narrative that Tennessee can't recruit 3-star U. They're going to ignore the 4-star and just focus in on Edward Baker. But Coach Jay is saying, I'm not saying he's a bad offensive lineman. I'm saying he needs development, and he can be developed. And we'll see if Glenn Ellerbe can do it. Glenn Ellerbe is not on the hot seat, but we're watching. We are watching to see if he can develop David Sanders. We are watching to see if he can develop William Satterwhite. But here's the thing, Falming, that I want to talk about. He's got the athleticism. Coach Jay sees some good things here if he can be developed. Do you take a chance on a guy like this? Because something that nobody is talking about when they want to scream and cry about 3-star U, and again, we took Edward Baker, we took the in-state kid Anderson, 3-star guys. The NCAA increased the scholarship limit from 85 to 105. So walk-ons are gone. So this is the equivalent of a walk-on in Edward Baker that you take a shot on. And because, again, we're still working on Darius Gray, the #1 ranked interior offensive lineman in the country. I talked about him in the video this morning, who he said Tennessee's at the top of his list. So you're still working on him. So you can take a shot on a guy like Edward Baker and continue to recruit Darius Gray. You can take a shot on an in-state kid that's got track speed and he's got the length that you want. Do you put any stock in that, or am I making excuses for signing 3 stars?
I think you're dead on, but like the number one thing is for me is everything we just talked about, all the intangibles that you can't necessarily see on tape just yet. At 6'4", 315, you've seen these feet, you've seen the talent he's going against, all these things. If he's at 3 stars now and has all these things to work on, that means this is his floor. This is his absolute floor. I mean, so what's his ceiling? Why would you not take a chance on a guy like this? And it's absolutely going to be a measuring stick for Ellerbe and company. I mean, you just keep picking up guys like this. You look at Anderson, the athlete he is, 3 stars. So what? I get getting caught up on some of these 5-star guys and really wanting to pull them in and all the draw that brings with it. I mean, and especially for YouTube, right? It's great for the channel. But
hey, let me tell you something. A 5-star pulls views all day long. A 3-star, not so much.
Right. But that has to be, and I don't mean this offensively, but that has to be a casual thing. It really does, because if you look at the things you can't coach, speed, size, like that's what we just keep adding to the roster. We just keep plugging in these guys, and if you take enough of them, it doesn't matter if 1 or 2 miss, because you're not going to miss most of them. And if it's anything we've learned from this staff, they've definitely hit more than they've missed.
100%. Let's we're going to take a look at some more film here, but I do want to say we got 703 people watching live right now. We're going to take you all the way up to the decision from 4-star athlete Legend Bay. We're going to talk about him here in just a second. He's going to make a decision tonight. Is it Duke? Is it Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, or West Virginia? Put your pick in the chat right now. We would appreciate to see your thoughts, but also show us some love, man. Hit the thumbs up. Think about hitting the join button. You can become a member of this channel for $1 a month. We would appreciate that. Or you can go check out some Talkin VAWLS merchandise. Falming always reps Talkin VAWLS merchandise, but you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link to that's also in the description. But we got these brand new Nike hats, man. Those are clean camo hats, bucket hats. We also have Talkin VAWLS Nike themed shirts. Coach Jay is repping that, I believe. Right now, you got the Nike swoosh on the sleeve. We got hoodies, pullovers, whatever you want. We got golf polos and quarter zips. We got a windbreaker, travel mug, Coach Jay's shirt, which I need to put my emoji. I may need to put my emoji in there after tonight. Whatever you got, camo hoodie, get in where you fit in. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We appreciate all of you guys. This channel doesn't exist. I sell it all the time. For the fans, by the fans. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. But guess what? It's also fan funded. I don't pay my bills by ad revenue from YouTube. I pay my bills by you folks in the chat that are generous, support through merchandise, memberships, or super chats. So I thank every single one of you. Speaking of super chats, Bubba Shrum for 5 says, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. You know, I tried to change that intro on my video this morning. And I was like, it's complete dog crap. I've got to stick with it. And if I go away from it, then people yell at me. So I just can't ever win. Dakota BFL has been a member for 39 months. Says, hey, everyone, go Vols. Appreciate you, Dakota. Also, BTSH for 10 says, I think the Vols will shock everyone this year. Only loss I see is at Florida. Holy smokes. We're beating Georgia in Neyland. Sign me up for that. I think we rally at Alabama and start to run the table against them again. GBO. Shout out BTSH. We appreciate you. JT Lynn's been a member for 3 months. Go Big Damn Orange and Buck Fama. Bubba Shrum, been a member for 33 months. Shout out, Bubba. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, let's talk about another commit. Let's go take a look at, dude, I've got 87 tabs opened up. Where's the one that I want to show? This is the one that I want to show. Tennessee, again, shocked me yesterday, man. I'm sitting on Edward Baker, and then all of a sudden I get an email that says Kedric Golston II has committed to Tennessee, a 4-star edge. Foul Ming, you were a little late to the party, but what did you think of this commitment? Again, blue chipper.
Absolute huge get. I mean, right out the gate, you know, his dad played at Georgia. So you got to think, well, we're behind the 8 ball on that one. But then I think it comes down to, like we said before, you're in NIL, you're going to get offers everywhere. You're going to get a lot of that evens out, right? A lot of that just rises to, but it comes down to connections. It comes down to chemistry. It comes down to what coaches I can relate to, what staff can I relate to. And if you go through, we'll talk about some of his other intangibles, but you talk about in his interviews and his visits, it's all about Coach Garner, how much he trusts him, how much he believes in him, how much he thinks he can put his game to the next level, how he kind of keeps it real with him. He tells him what he needs to do, and he trusts if he tells him he's in the wrong, he'll put him on the right track. Similar thing with Coach Heupel. He talks about how he's just the same guy on and off the field. So I think what we're seeing is over and over and over, it's culture, it's fit, and then not to mention, I mean, just an absolute stud of an athlete, talking about quick off the line, violent hands, brings a lot of that violence to his blocker, knocking them off their base. Great bend. I mean, another home run hit for the good guys.
I'm going to say this, and
I love that Coach J never tells a lie.
I'm going to say who he reminds me of, and God, I'm scared to even say it.
Get ready to clip it, boys. Get ready to clip it, boys.
He reminds me a lot of Derek Barnett. Like
Let's go.
carbon copy almost of Derek Barnett. And I almost didn't believe it watching it and seeing it.
Wayne put it in the chat before you even said it.
Did he really?
Yes.
Did he really?
Yes.
Are you crapping me?
No, he put it in the chat before you ever said it. Now he's laughing at himself over it.
Oh wow. Yeah, so eerily similar in size, eerily similar in the game that they play. He is, man, I'll tell you what, when I really like a kid on my D line, I'll call him a son of a bee out there. And he is a son of a bee on the football field. This kid is tough, and he plays with a lot of tenacity. And I'm not saying he will become Derek Barnett, but he's got every tool in the toolbook to be Derek Barnett. And that's something to get dang excited about on the hill, because man, this kid is a SOB out there. Let's put it that way.
Well, this is another one that I put Coach Jay to work on and said, hey, get your butt in the film room. We're going to take a look. Coach, let's just do 2 plays here on Kedric Golston.
I honestly, I was in a hurry, as Boogie knows. I've got a buttload of family in town. So I literally just grabbed like the first 3 plays I saw. And then I got a little extra time later and I started going through more of his film. And I was like, crap, I want to show this play. Crap, I want to show this play. But we're stuck with only these 2 plays. This first play here, guys, we got single wing, pistol formation. We have motion coming across your screen to the right side of your screen. We see, I almost said Derek Barnett circled here, but we see Golston circled here on the side. Boogie, if you want to go ahead and play this initial punch that we get on the tight end here, and just pause it on that punch, you know, on that lockup of the punch. So right here, I mean, you can already see this tight end going backwards, right?
Off his base.
Yeah. Give me just a split second more, Boogie. You'll just a split. Boom. Not, you see how far back that punch knocked him, right? It almost knocked him so far back that his hands got high and he needs to reset them. Before that happens, though, he sees that he needs to squeeze this edge down, right? Because you see that gap. Look at the gap between the, the tackle that's down blocking here and that tight end. That gap is significant, and we need to squeeze that down. But before we do, we need to create a little space. Boogie, if you want to just play it while he creates that little bit of space and then pause it again. Pushes off to create that space, right? Pop, pop. Resets, creates that space. Now he's free to squeeze down, and it's just time to, Boogie, what do I like to say? What do I say about tackling? There's a sentence phrase I have about tackling. It goes knees to nuts, ass down, head up, wrap up, hat on the ball. Mr. Golston, you want to go ahead and put on a tackling clinic for us right here? Jeez, man. Oh man, the explosion out. That's what a low center can do. As I said, knees to nuts, ass down, head up, wrap up, hat on a ball.
I love how he, even though he got a little high there, just because the kid gave up so much so fast, but you see where he stayed on his heel line? As soon as he got to the heel line of the offensive line, moved straight down inside and made the play. But yeah, I just love that the presence of mind that he kept, even though he absolutely blows this kid up, he doesn't get too deep and over pursue and let the guy inside. He gets to the heel line, immediately moves down inside.
Absolutely. Heel line. Yeah. And that's a good way to say it. I always say ass deep or as deep as the ass of the offensive lineman.
Yeah, we always just reference it as the heel line of like the offensive lineman, right?
It's the same thing. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. But brilliant. On this next play here, look, so the tight end is going to come straight forward right here, and he's going to punch him. And a lot of people have asked me over the years how you stop Georgia's tight ends from going nuts, right? You need to get a good punch on him. And to be honest, he can get a little bit better of a punch here. But I want to at least show you what a punch can do. You get a light punch here, and the idea is to redirect to the linebacker, and then the linebacker can get a good hit on the tight end. Boogie, go ahead and show us that punch, and then pause it about when the tight end gets to the linebacker, number 19. Maybe pause it there. So it gets a small punch. Doesn't really true reroute him. The linebacker is lazy about rerouting him. He's going to sprint out to the flat here. So he's actually got a flat assignment. He's going to come directly out on an angle here to the flat. The quarterback's going to escape. Boogie, give me a couple seconds. I'll kind of tell you when to pause it. All right. He disappears in the flat. The quarterback escapes. Pause it right here. He is in space, right, against a quarterback. Foul, you played football. Anyone who's played ball can tell you it is hard to make a hit on a kid in space. I'll tell you what. Golston's going to catch a case right here. He's actually on trial for assault right now, so I don't know if he's going to make it to campus or not, but he caught an assault case right here. Let's go ahead and watch him.
And he's actually lost container.
Catch a case.
Yep.
Jeez, like he just that. Golly.
Has anybody checked on that kid? Is that kid okay?
Somebody I don't think so. I think
dude, that kid looks like he's in 6th grade. Hold on a second. When Coach Jay said roll it out here and let me see some space, hold on.
I mean, he sprints 20 yards in open field and assaults this poor child. Like,
look at this. That looks like a 6th grader. A 6th grader.
But just that close down in the open field like that is why, I mean, I didn't make it past 2 plays there. You can watch this guy's film all day, and it's brutal, man. Well, every single play. That
last play was the epitome of a quote I was going to bring up. We all know his dad played in the NFL, 6th overall pick, right? Well, the quote from his dad. I know it's his son, and he's proud of him and all that. But his first quote about his son was, "I was a pretty decent athlete in my day, but he's a better athlete than me."
Yeah,
And that's coming from a 6th overall pick.
And a dude
So
that
when you
played, I
put
think,
him out in space
11
like
seasons.
that, and you see he just committed murder on that kid,
yeah.
I guess you could say he's a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, I think he played 11 seasons in the NFL. Let me catch up with you guys. JB Burns becomes a member of the channel. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate the memberships. If you can say, hey, I will set aside $1 a month and support the Talkin VAWLS network, it means the world. So shout out JB Burns. Mike Janow also becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Mike. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel. So keep those memberships rolling in. Johnny B for 5. Don't ever change that intro. Well, but I get yelled at least 7 times a day to change the intro.
Long,
it's too long. He says, I was at work playing the show when a customer came up and said, is that Boogie and Talkin VAWLS? GBO, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it, brother. Billy Todd for 2 says, late door fee. We also appreciate door fees. That's like a membership. We appreciate that, Billy. Thank you for the super chat. It is, we're about 10 minutes away, a little less than 10 minutes away from 4-star athlete Legend Bay coming off the board. So let's talk about the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. Rizzy becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Rizzy. We appreciate you. But we're talking about 4-star athlete Legend Bay that's about to come off the board, ranked 301st, just outside the On 300 in the On 3 industry rankings. 13th best athlete in the country. He comes from the state of Texas. We all know what Texas high school football is. Dropped his top 5 on May the 22nd. Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. I think Fowl mentioned this a little bit earlier in the show. They asked Faison Brandon at the Elite 11 who he was recruiting to Tennessee. Who did he mention? I think we can land Tristan Keys and Legend Bay. He goes on to talk about Savion Hyder as well, but he is including Legend Bay in there with Tristan Keys, and I think he knows Legend Bay, Tristan Keys, Tyree King with Faison Brandon slinging the rock. Sign me up for it. Let's go. Where are we at? A lot of people thought this thing was going to Texas A&M, Tennessee or Texas A&M. AP said it depended on which way the wind was blowing. He said this like 48 hours ago. And then last night around 10 p.m., AP, he was on an airplane. He's going on vacation, but there are no days off. He was still having a little chat over at VolQuest, and he said Tennessee has had a lot of dialogue with him, close to call, but Vols still have a real shot here. Wouldn't have said that a day or so ago. Long way to go until around tomorrow night. And again, this goes back to the Hayes Fawcett graphic. I don't think Legend Bay is included with that because that came out yesterday in the morning or afternoon. And then this comment from AP last night, it's an interesting timeline. This morning, I'm making the video on Darius Gray, and then I see right at the final hour, Steve Wiltfong says, spoiler alert, I'm moving my prediction from Tennessee to Texas A&M. Foulming, that's got to kind of perk your ears up just a little bit. You also had some inside baseball. You're tracking social media. You got something that makes you think he's coming to Tennessee, and I'll just sit on why I think he's coming to Tennessee. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said earlier, I was stressing Texas A&M a little bit, maybe too much. Maybe, that's a little bit of, no, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. But once I saw you get a little in the weeds on social media, once I kind of saw some of the kids kind of going back and forth, interacting with one another, you talk about which way the wind's going to blow. I think Faison is going to be the wind in those sails that could push us over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Ball Scoops just sent me a DM on Twitter. I got the inside baseball. So, Coach Shay, you watch a lot of film. We'll take a look at a couple of plays, but
Let's do it.
We know that Legend Bay he's an athlete, right? He could play quarterback. Like Duke is recruiting him to play quarterback. Tennessee is recruiting him to play receiver. He's also being recruited to play in the secondary. 10-2 speed in the 100. Like, overall summary of what you've seen on tape, what do you think?
He's a football player. At the end of the day, he's a football player. It's the highest compliment I think any coach can give. I won 11 of them on both sides of the ball. I'll play him at offensive guard. Kid's a football player. He's athletic. He's fast. He's got all the tools. Special. like I said, I don't think we've seen a kid who can stop and start like him since Percy Harvin, Reggie Bush. I mean, that's special. Those are names that I don't just throw out lightly because of how athletic, how quick they are. Their start and stop. I'm just going to sound like a broken record on that, but it's special. It's that special. I think when he plays, he's one of those players in high school where it almost looks like Bo Jackson playing in Tecmo Bowl on old school Nintendo. And I think he's special enough that he might be able to do a little bit of that at the college level. And man, just thinking about him and someone like Tristan Keys on the same field together, that's dangerous. That's like having two Jalen Hyatts out there at the same time.
Tyreek King in there.
That's King on the outside. It's scary.
He's
It's a
15th
problem.
nationally. He's 15th ranked athlete nationally for a reason, right, Coach? That's kind of what you're leaning into there. And I think one of the key words, you're all over it. I think one of the key words in some of his recruitment there was suddenness. I haven't seen that on a lot of other athletes, the word suddenness, and I'll put in quotes because that's exactly what you're talking about. Just be able to, in space, absolutely deadly in space. He's going to beat you on that first step every time.
I think I could be laying down in a single bed with him and not be able to tackle him. You know what I mean? Like we could be under the covers of a tiny little cot together and I would not be able to get my hands on him to tackle him. I know I gave you a little visual there. I'm sorry, pal. What can I say? It's the weekend, man. We're partying.
It's too early, Coach. Too early.
I'm sorry. My bad. But the point is, yeah, man, he's dangerous in a phone booth, man. He's
absolutely
he's fun to watch. And
we haven't even talked about like I mentioned the other day. I don't want to be a broken record, but the jet sweeps, the quick screens, something that Heupel loves to blend into his offensive scheme. This guy's is a tailor-made fit. My comparison would be Velus Jones Jr. Like where he can just return, he can play slot, he can play wherever you need. Just put the ball in his hands, basically. Put him in space, let him do his thing.
Yeah, and I think you can run him in the Wildcat too, quite a bit.
He even mentioned he's like, I'm not afraid to sling the ball around a little bit.
Yeah, we talking a little film here.
Yeah, let's take a look at a few plays. We're taking you up to the commitment. I'm refreshing Instagram. I'm refreshing Twitter. I'm refreshing everywhere. While Coach Jay is going to walk us through a few plays here.
Hey, let's talk about what the defense is doing here. This isn't really a real defense. I mean, it's a variation of the nickel, but this is because Bay is a problem, right? Make no mistake about it. Look at the linebacker stack with the safety, and you can't see the other safety there, but I assure you he is behind that referee, a little bit shaded. We got trips to the bottom of our screen right now, single wing, as I mentioned. This is going to be a designed quarterback counter. Boogie, if you want to go ahead and play it and pause it, maybe kind of at that mesh point, although the handoff's never really something to worry about here. The play fake isn't something that it's not like a zone read. It's a true counter.
You want me at the mesh? Sorry, I'm getting inside
No,
baseball.
you're good. You're good. You could just pause it at the not really a mesh, right? Just a true counter. And look at the muck right here. You know, if you're thinking about someone with 10-2 speed, someone with 4-2 whatever speed, you're thinking they're going to hit that edge, right? You think they're going to go wide to the top side of your screen and just kind of blitz to the outside and burn everybody. He's going to cut in. He's going to counter in. Boogie, if you can play it, pause it when he gets to about that 53-yard line. Let's talk about what we got at that 53-yard line mark.
What is the 53-yard line? Coach, you are a Division III analyst. You just had a Division
47
interview.
47. My bad.
What is the 53-yard line? I'm curious.
That would be the
one of the 47s.
Yeah, my bad.
You've been in the sun.
Hey, man, I just got out of the pool for 3 hours. I've been barbecuing.
You want that 47 or the other 47?
The other 47. My bad. That's hilarious.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Right behind that referee, we see that other safety has come into line.
No shot.
Right? Now,
no shot.
If that safety takes a direct angle back to, let's say, the 25-yard line, you might think that he's got a chance at making the tackle, right, to the edge. Well, Boogie, give me maybe 2 more seconds here. Let's let him get into a little more frame. Pop, pop. Okay, he's turned his hip. He's taken that angle. He's going to take an angle to about the 35-yard line. By about the time he gets that second step gone, Legend's going to be already even with him. Boogie, just watch the wheels. I mean, it's just, yeah, watch it in full speed now. Go ahead and whip it back. But that angle I mean, as a defensive coordinator, I can tell you, you're just kind of looking at your head coach going, well, my safety took the right angle. I coached him up correctly. I don't know what to tell you other than this kid is lightning fast, man. I mean, look at this angle. What is that, man?
You can almost see the dip in the safety's hips when he tries to make that cut, and there's just no shot. He had no chance. And let's say he did have the speed to keep up with him. That's one cut away with a kid like that who's that twitchy. Like, that's one inside step cut. Like, that kid was smoked one way or the other. That's why I shook my head. If he tries to run him down, it's not going to happen. Let's say he does have the track speed and makes that cut, it's over. Like, there's a kid that fast and that twitchy in space, game over.
We got trips to the bottom of the screen again. We see once again this box it's not quite loaded, but Boogie, when you press play, the running back's going to come kind of out on a swing. Let's play it and pause it as that starts to happen, and we can kind of talk here. They notice, the linebacker, the outside linebacker, doesn't come out initially pre-snap to match that motion, because he wants Bay to think he's in the box, but it's BS, right? As soon as the ball's hiked, he comes out, and we see Bay doesn't even bother here, really even faking that swing pass. He just he just takes the line inside and runs through, right? The reason we're watching this play is the outside linebacker at the top of the screen that's sitting at about, what's that, Boogie, again? Is that the 53-yard line, 47-yard line?
Depends on who you ask.
That outside linebacker up there, Boogie, when he breaks through and hits about the 50, pause it again, and we'll talk about what's going on here. Pops inside again, 50-yard line, boom. See that outside linebacker coming? Now, Foul, you think that outside linebacker got a chance of making this tackle? What's your money on? You think he's just going to get outran, or you think he's going to get juked out of his short? What's your money on here?
Oh, we know it's one step and it's game over. One step.
When I talked about stopping on a dime earlier, guys.
Suddenness.
Watch the suddenness you get here. And this kid is moving, mind you, at like 4.29 speed. And he stops on nothing and changes directions. Watch this, Boogie. Play it. Just rewind it back and play it in full speed, because you almost don't get.
You have to see it 3 times to catch it.
Yeah, that just.
Gee, not to mention, can we get that cut at the line too before he gets the linebackers? Watch this cut at the line.
Yeah.
It's twice. Yeah. Watch, it's so fast you don't see it, but almost immediately.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, Val, it's in my notes, and I rewrote. They're not going to see it, so.
Oh,
exactly. But and then after the stop of when he stops on a dime, the restart speed is so quick. He covers those first 5 yards in his restart in about half a click. It's just stupid, that restart speed. You would think that lineman running behind him would have a shot at him, and then beats about 4 or 5 kids to the angle.
The worst part's the linebacker's not in bad position there. Like he's scraping across like he's supposed to, but there was just absolutely no shot. Stop, move, cut, done.
So let me ask you this: like playing quarterback in high school.
Yeah, looks like Percy Harvin, right, in the chat. He really
like
does.
He's showing his athleticism. He can run with the football in his hands. How hard is it to learn route running? How hard is it to, going from a guy that's throwing the rock to catching the rock? Does that concern you? And we're going to take a look at the last play here in just a second.
No, with the feet and hips and all the tools that he has, no. I'm 0% worried about that, Boogie.
It's almost reminds me of Le'Veon Bell too. You remember how Le'Veon could stop at the line, make just a cut that made no sense. It looked almost slow because of the way everybody else reacted to it, and then start and stop.
Yeah, -0. I am not worried about him at all. Yeah, we can watch this last play if you want, if we got time. I don't know if he's.
We have plenty of time. I'm talking to Ball Scoops, and he's thinking that me and Falming are going to have to fill an hour of dead internet.
Yeah,
Central.
And I apologize, guys. I've got a ton of family in town. Normally, I'd stay and chill, but my dad has a big surgery coming up. He was recently diagnosed with cancer that doesn't look so good. So your prayers would be appreciated. But I've got a bunch of family here, and football is family, and I got to make sure I attend to that. So thank you.
Somebody's saying 7:10 Eastern time. I don't know if that's accurate or if it's going to actually be 7 p.m. Central. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. Keeping those memberships rolling, which we appreciate. Jeff Laughlin becomes a member of the channel. Mark Gilbert becomes a member of the channel. Dirty Duck E also becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Dirty Ducky. We appreciate you. Billy Todd's been a member for 21 months. We appreciate that. Hunter Cochran drops a $2 super chat. Nothing to say, just a tip in the old tip jar. We appreciate that as well. Let me look real quick. I'm looking at VolQuest to see. I'm scrolling. I'm looking at Hayes Fawcett. I'm looking at Legends Twitter. I'm looking at his Instagram just to see if there's anything out there. Look, this is the price you pay for the fans, by the fans. That's what this is. We are fans speculating. AP's the one that said 7 o'clock, and maybe he just left out the Central time. Maybe he thought it was Eastern time. I don't know. But guess what? I can BS. I'm a BSer, and so is Foul Ming. Yep. And if we have to go till 7 o'clock, I believe in you guys. We're going to go till 7 o'clock Central time. We will do it. We will take you all the way up to the commitment. But let's go take a look at the last play here.
And leave my screen. I'll jump out, but if you see me pop back in, it's possible I'll pop back in. This play, guys, it's just more because I want you guys to imagine that you have a genius offensive coordinator like we have, right? And imagine that you're Heupel and you have a kid that you can put in a Wildcat or in trips and can throw the bejesus out of the football. So not only can he stretch you vertically, but he can beat you on the other hand. We're going to have a kind of a fake bubble to this Y slot wide receiver. So we got trips to the bottom of the screen. Your Y slot receiver is going to be the receiver closest to the line of scrimmage. He's going to kind of pop out like he's on a bubble. It's actually a fake bubble. What they really want to do is work the post to the S slot wide receiver that's just to the outside of him. But the problem is number 2 on the defensive backfield, the outside linebacker is showing blitz here. Boogie, I don't know if you can kind of point him out, that defender on the bottom of the screen, number 2, right there. He's going to blitz and cause trouble. Why don't you go ahead and pause it right when he gets in Legend's face, Boogie, right as he's about to get there. He's going to kind of ruin the offensive plan here and get in his face. And you would think he's cooked right about here, right? You got an outside linebacker on a quarterback. He's going to go ahead and cook him. Obviously, we know Legend Bay is not going to be cooked by an outside linebacker, right, guys? What you're going to get out of here is just an escape and a rollout. And he's going to throw a dime, man. Boogie, there's not a whole lot to it. But just imagine he's running Wildcat. Just imagine you throw it to him out on a bubble, and he rolls out and lays a pass on Tristan Keys like this. Look at the elusiveness. Imagine Keys running downfield, but no one's on him because they got to honor this kid. I mean, the amount of stuff you can draw up is infinite with this kid. Look at that pass. Right on the
Well,
money.
and again, like we're a broken record here, and of course he's outrunning all these kids, and we know he's got that speed. But it's that first step, that quick step. He's immediately safe. One step, and he's completely in the clear. And of course, he's going to outrun whoever's left.
Yep.
And again,
right,
it just opens up creativity, man.
Yeah.
You got guys playing wide receiver that can throw the football. You can do different things with them and create, just creativity. That's it. Coach Jay, you can bounce. We'll me and Foul Me.
I might be back in. I got to go check on a tri-tip. I've been slow smoking and make sure the fam's doing good. I might pop back in, but family, I really appreciate all your prayers in the chat. It means a lot to me, more than you know. Let's get this guy in the boat and let's keep it rolling if I don't see you, but I'll try to pop back in if I can. Go Big Orange.
I appreciate you, Coach. We're going to keep this thing rolling. Coach. It's becoming Talkin VAWLS live. We can improv around here. Somebody said, "What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on predictions? What are your thoughts on that?" David Hall for 5 says, "Prayers for your dad, Coach Jay." Appreciate the super chat. Nashquatch becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. Cannot survive without your support. What do you guys want to talk about? We're going to improv. We're going to wing. Look, we could shut the stream down. We could say, I don't know what to do. I can't talk Tennessee football. I've got a script. I have to go by a script every time I make a video, and I got to lay everything out. No, I can wing it. Y'all want to talk about something? Let's talk about something. I sent Vol Scoops the link. If Vol Scoops wants to talk, pop in here and talk a little recruiting, if he wants to pop in here and talk about the 2025 season, he wants to talk about expectations, I'm down for that. We can do that. So whatever you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. But dude, like what how do you feel about this class of 26? And I know we've talked a lot about it tonight, but what do you feel if it is top heavy? What if you get, and this is kind of funny because I think a lot of people that are pretty negative would be like, oh, that's a success. What if you got Faison Brandon? What if you got Tristan Keys? What if you got Savion Hyder? So your 3 main skill positions on offense are the top ranked player in the country. But then maybe some of your offensive linemen are 3 stars. Maybe your safeties are 3 stars. Maybe but I can't even say that because I think they're recruiting elite linebackers. But if it was a little top heavy, could you live with that?
100%. I think it kind of goes back to like some portal talk I talked about earlier, but it seems like Coach Heupel and the staff are attacking this class with a scalpel more so than a hatchet, right? They pick out their needs. They find guys who they want. They find guys who want to be here. They find culture fits. I mean, it all sounds like we're just covering for whatever, trying to put a nice little sugar coat on everything. But I don't think that's the case. I mean, it sounds like we got our orange colored glasses on, but I don't think that's the case. I think they see a fit. They see a player they want to work with. They see players they want to fit into their scheme, and they go out and get those guys. And then you want to say, well, we're picking 3-star linemen. Oh, no. Well, look at Big Squish. As soon as they got a real evaluation, now he's up the board of 5 stars in a lot of people's eyes. I think it's some of these guys, and especially maybe linemen, they don't get these 7-on-7s to go out and show what they can do. You only got so much tape to work on. And the amount of improvement they're making from year to year and the size gains. And then you're going to talk about this staff isn't looking at what they look like as a junior. They're thinking, well, what's he going to be as a redshirt freshman? What's he going to look like as a sophomore in our system? And over and over and over, I think they're on track, putting the right guys in the right spot time and time again. So I was going to ask you earlier, I don't know what the updated rankings are, but I think we're at 16 nationally, and we're still bringing in these guys. We've made a huge push this week, but it's the same cycle. Look at last year. Everybody's sweating it. Everybody's sweating Big Dave. All these guys are down to the wire. And then about this time last year, towards the end of June, all these guys start rolling in. And we complain, everybody complains that, well, Tennessee don't push them hard enough. Tennessee don't make them commit early. Tennessee doesn't stay on top of them enough. Well, I think this is where it pays dividends. These top-end kids, where you say top-heavy, these top-end kids, they're getting it from all angles. They're catching messages, phone calls, interviews, all this stuff from all over the country. And then you listen to them in their post commitment interviews. They say, well, this is the place I felt most comfortable. This is a place they let me be me, where they got to know me, not just the player. I got to know them, not just the coach. And they felt comfortable. They made these kids think Tennessee's home, and they didn't pressure these kids and make them feel awkward, make them you hear these horror stories from parents and things, like we talked to Big Ant the other day. They just make it a more relaxed setting. They know all the intangibles of what the kid can do. The kids know what Tennessee brings to the table. They know the facilities, the staff, everything the nutrition, the weight program. They know they're going to get that. Then you go to NIL. They know they're going to get paid. That's the same across the board. So what makes you stand out? And over and over and over, it's how they've been treated. It's how they've been made comfortable, made think that they can just be the best version of themselves here with no pressure on top of it. And I think that's what's playing out.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to Tennessee is going to make a comparable offer if they think you're worth it. Now, if they don't think you're worth it, and we can look at directly at Nico, right? We can look at directly at Nico, and this coaching staff took a stand. They said, we don't think you're worth what you're asking for. So it's a hard pass. And then I know there's layers to that. There's layers to that whole Nico negotiation and the way it played out and it getting leaked to the public that the negotiation, I feel like when it got leaked that Nico's camp was kind of like, oh, we got to take a stand. Like we got to fight back on this. And then it was like, don't go to practice. And then Nico's kicked off, basically, allegedly, not even allegedly. It's like, you can't be here. You skip practice, you're done, move on. But I don't that's so many different. You got to be worth it. You got to be worth the money for Tennessee to make that comparable offer.
Well, even on that one, I think if calmer heads could have came to some kind of mutual understanding, I think Tennessee may have even met them somewhere in the middle. I think they definitely would have considered a raise, but I think, of course, pushed strongly by his father. I think we all can agree on at this point, but I think he made an emotional decision. I think Pete Nakos's article came out. I think that kind of got some emotions flaring, and then you stack that with a couple things of then he doesn't go to practice because he gets some bad advice, and then you kind of stonewall the staff. Like, I think it snowballed. I don't think that was an actual reflection on Tennessee. You're right. Like, they're only going to pay you what they think you're worth, but it's not like they're just ice cold and say, well, here's the number, take it or leave it. I mean, I think we could have worked something out there, and it would have been better, which we all know now would have been better for both sides. But everybody got emotional. Everybody got too excited, and one thing led to another there. But I think you're right. Like,
the whole point being, Josh Heupel, this coaching staff, has to decide if you're worth that money. So whatever the comparable offer is, are you worth it? And that's where we're at with recruiting. I think if they want this kid and they think it's worth it to make that comparable offer, then that's where culture, relationships, family, all that comes in. Ball Scoops is in the back room. We're going to add him. We're going to keep this train rolling. We're going to figure out Legend Bay may be committing at 7 a.m. I don't know. If we got to stay live for 12 more hours, we'll do it right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But let me catch up with you guys. Peyton K for 10 says door fee for the extra hour. Well, I would just start a show an hour early every time. We could do that every time. Appreciate you, Peyton K. Matthew LaFavor, is that how you say that? For 5, no one is bigger than the program. That includes myself, hashtag GBO. Appreciate you, Matthew. Bubba Shrum for 5. If you don't know what to do, play Minecraft. I mean, I can go get the PlayStation. We can fire up a little EA Sports College Football if that's what you guys want to do. Stephen Parr, been a member for 9 months, about to give birth to his little tiny Talkin VAWLS baby. Shout out, Stephen. We appreciate you. John Lander's been a member for 20 months. Bubba Shrum says, if you guys won't join the channel, I will make you join the channel. And he gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We appreciate you, Bubba. Let's get Ball Scoops on here. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Recruiting 2025. We'll talk about something. What is up, my friend? Long time coming. Good to have you on the show.
It's been a long time coming. Hopefully my audio is good and everything. But Boogie, 7 p.m., 7 a.m. We are on commitment watch for a 4-star athlete, Legend Bay. One that I'm really excited about, and happy to finally be on the Talkin VAWLS network, man. What a crazy journey, and been a crazy run for you guys. So excited to finally be on.
Yeah, it's about time, man. We've talked about it over and over and over again. What do you think about? We can kind of rehash some of the stuff that we've talked about. What do you think about the Hayes Fawcett tweet saying orange emoji times 5. And then we get Kedric Golston, Edward Baker, Zayden Anderson. People are saying 3-star U. We were talking about the scholarships going from 85 to 105. Just what do you think about the last 24 hours as it all kind of starts to unfold?
I mean, I think it was much needed for a Vol Nation. You know, we had that 1 week kind of break after Vols baseball and the Super Regionals, and after the College World Series happened, and then we were kind of itching, being about 60 days away from Tennessee football. Everyone's been kind of hyping around this 2026 class. How is Tennessee going to add around Faison Brandon? How who's going to be added? Is Tennessee going to be able to flip a guy like Tristan Keys? Are they still in heavily on Savion Hyder? I think the Hayes Fawcett tweet kind of gave some life to Vol Nation. It was really early in the morning. Everyone was kind of getting excited. And then you saw the run, man. It's just been, commit after commit after commit. And it kind of gives like a feel of how it was, 2 years ago in the, Nico Iamaleava class in the 2023 class, just how Tennessee was able to capitalize. And they kind of do it strategically, with, getting all the commits kind of riled up at once. So I don't think it's a coincidence how Tennessee's going on this run. I think they've had, back-to-back weeks of official visits and guys on campus, and they just, getting the ball rolling ahead of the 2025 and 2026 football season. So, it's been a really good run, but so far, Tennessee obviously, adding in the trenches in the defensive line, and now an athlete like Legend Bay, who is obviously a quarterback in high school, but just a versatile athlete. Y'all showed his highlights, a guy that I feel like is really underrated right now, and he's top 300 athlete or top 300 player in the country and the number 13 athlete I think on 3. So they're doing it strategically, and just overall I think this 2026 class, everyone wanted it to come together and the pieces are starting to go. It's like a domino effect right now. But the scholarship, man, I think Tennessee's strategically doing that. They've always lived on the recruiting class and not in the transfer portal, and now that they have those extra numbers, given that Tennessee has been limited from scholarship reductions the last few years, and now these new rules of college football, you've seen Josh Heupel and the staff get rolling. So, all hands on deck, because the recruit machine is going.
I love that you mentioned like Heupel does things by design. It's like you said, it all starts firing off at one time. Or if you ever notice, like going into 865 Live or going into a big official weekend, there's typically a kid that pulls the trigger, whether it's a 3-star, 4-star, whatever the case. But I think everything is by design to create momentum, and that's where I feel like we're at right now. And then Hayes Fawcett just adds fuel to the fire. I'm not going to ask you to speculate because you know too much information. You don't have to speculate on who you think's coming. But me and Falming were talking earlier about being top heavy, right? Let's say you go get the number one quarterback. Well, I keep calling him the number one quarterback. They changed the rankings. I don't care. When you change the rankings, I'm going to ignore you. You dropped George McIntyre because he didn't throw enough footballs in T-shirts and shorts. So I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to continue to call Faison Brandon the number one quarterback in the country. So you get that guy. You get the number one wide receiver. You flip Tristan Keys and you get the number one ranked wide receiver. And then you go get Savion Hyder, which I love all the drama going on with his handler and Michigan and all that stuff. You get him, the number one ranked wide receiver, quarterback, and running back, but maybe kind of the fillers aren't as highly ranked. Is Tennessee spending the money to go get those big-time splash players?
You got to understand, like, obviously you've covered it a lot, man. The rev share era is just completely different with schools being able to, have hands on deck of paying college athletes. Now you're not just, relying on your collective or relying on, how funded your collective is. Tennessee's able to, get a salary cap essentially and go and invest in this roster. And I think they've been doing that strategically. And you have the guys like you've been, spot on with Savion Hyder and his, the whole Michigan thing and everything like that. You're still swinging at a guy like Tristan Keys, who's committed to LSU, but it sounds like Miami and Tennessee are heavy in his ear in every interview you do. And you get that class alone of just those 3 guys on the offensive side and what Tennessee has on defense right now, what they've done the last 3 days. It's something to be really excited about. But you still got guys like 4-star linebacker TJ White out there. You still got 4-star linebacker Braden Rouse. 4-star defensive lineman Darion Albert is committing July 1st. Brandon Anderson's set to commit like really soon. And that's one to watch just because Tennessee did take Edward Baker yesterday, and that was a surprise commitment. How does Tennessee figure with their O-line? Do they want one more? And that just goes with the addition to scholarships. Like you said, walk-ons are essentially not here anymore, but Tennessee's able to take flyers on guys that they would have been limited to. and they also don't have the restrictions of, the Jeremy Pruitt era. So it's just, it's a lot for the staff to kind of, figure out, and they're getting a lot more guys on campus and, seeing these visits and having the 865 live, but then also having the barbecue cookout. Or, when Tennessee was here for the regionals, that was a big weekend for Tennessee because they were able to, sneak some guys in. Whenever people thought that Savion Hyder wasn't going to visit, and then he was able to come in for his official visit on the weekend, that was huge. And, they were able to cover a lot of ground there. Tristan Keys, he came in the week before his LSU visit, but the buzz you're still hearing is that Tennessee is a school that he loves. He says he loves Tennessee, the staff, everyone around it. Said Faison Brandon is his guy, his dog. So, there's obviously a relationship there. And I just want to give, Faison Brandon his flowers because, yes, he's the number one quarterback. Yes, he's had the Elite 11 camp. He's been doing all the things that, quarterbacks do. But this man is recruiting like crazy. More than I've seen a Tennessee quarterback do. And I think he's had that command, leadership, and just, getting guys on campus whenever they are on campus. He's growing that relationship with, the player and their families. And, he knows all these guys, all the top, top dogs in the class. They go to these camps together. They're all in the same kind of circle, but just seeing how he's had that command with the staff and, getting guys to come to Tennessee in this 2026 class, obviously it's just accelerating here about the last 24 to 48 hours.
Val, do you think and I've made a lot of comparisons for obvious reasons with Nico and Faison Brandon, right? They're both highly touted 5-star quarterbacks, and Josh Heupel is going to always recruit elite quarterbacks. I think that's always priority number one. Right. Quarterback, tackles, edge rushers.
Right.
Nico didn't necessarily peer recruit the way that Faison Brandon is. Now, he's tried, but do you think some of that's maybe that impending NCAA investigation that had to play a part of that?
For sure. Well, part of it's our momentum. Obviously Tennessee's trending up, but you didn't see it's almost like Nico's recruiting was almost like a status-led recruiting. He was just so highly rated and had all the NIL money and all the headlines and all the things, then kind of pushed that. But you didn't really see it until maybe you could compare maybe GMAC. You saw GMAC on a lot of socials, making a lot of which he was a local kid, so he could jump in and be on campus quickly anytime and make some of those connections. But Faison, I think, took it to the next level. You don't any big time target or any kid that he's interested in or wants to make sure we get a shot at or he wants on his team, he's all over their socials. Anytime, day or night, if they make a post, he's on it. He's talking them up. And I think that's a big part of the Keys. Well, obviously it's big part of the Keys thing, but getting back into that a little bit, I think you're seeing where we're talking about Tennessee not putting the pressure on somebody and letting them come to their own decision and just showing you what we have to offer. That's exactly what's happening to Keys right now. LSU put all the heat on him. LSU said, make it or break it right now. And now they've almost worked themselves out of that deal from an outside perspective. I don't know LSU recruiting that well, but you see it across the board. The kid comes out and makes the comment, I love Tennessee. I love their coaches. I love their staff. I love their players. Does that sound like a kid who's locked in? I don't think so. And then, like you brought up, Scoops, I don't think this is by mistake. You see Tennessee get a lot of these last visits or next to last visits, and they schedule all these events at the end, and they get all the momentum at the end, right before the deadline. And some kids, maybe Hyder included, will stretch this out into the fall. But most kids want to get this done. Most kids want to get it done before the season starts. And if you want to bring all the momentum at once, this is the time to do it. And they've done it year after year after year, and it's paid off.
Yeah, you could say in a sense, there was limitations of the scholarship and the NCAA investigation when Nico was peer recruiting. But I just feel like Faison, the way he's done it, in a command way. Obviously a photo op is, one thing. Tennessee does that for every recruit that's on campus, but you're also seeing, them getting to know it, like you said, the last visit, but just seeing the overall relationship and multiple recruits going and obviously just pointing at their relationship with Faison or the staff in general. Really the assistants on the staff, man, the position coaches do a heck of a job, but the Tennessee assistants, the relationships they build with these athletes, and it goes unnoticed because they're obviously not on the field coaches. They don't have that big title on their name, but Tennessee, you saw, with Coach Chop before he got promoted to the edge position coach. They're working like heck. And those guys are obviously recruiting like crazy. And a guy like Legend Bay, who is, a really versatile athlete. We're obviously waiting for his commitment. It seems like going to be 7 Central, Boogie. But there's a guy, played quarterback in high school in Texas high school football. I mean, his speed is off the charts. It obviously is flashing in your eyes when you see him, but he's a guy that he was, wanting to play quarterback in high school. And now it seems like Tennessee and, A&M and all these other schools have been recruiting him as an athlete. So a guy that they were able to find. And I mean, the jump that he's going to have to the next level is going to be one to watch, I think.
So you got confirmation that Legend Bay coming off the board at 7 Central.
Well, I mean, yeah, the DMs, I mean, he said 7 p.m. I think, he is in Texas, a Texas native. So maybe he didn't, put a time zone whenever, he told multiple people, but it seems that way. We haven't seen anything from Hayes Fawcett, no confirmation from the VolQuest guys. So I guess we're on the 7 p.m. watch.
My favorite thread on VolQuest right now, I was over there looking, and somebody posted, "Where's the Bay commitment? Where's the Bay commitment?" And somebody says, "Boogie Bentley panicking right now." Bro, I ain't panicking. My wife just sent me a text and says, "What are you going to do now? Better you than me. I'd be in panic mode." It's like, I can talk Tennessee football till midnight. Y'all want to stay online till midnight talking Tennessee football? I'll stay on till midnight. I don't care. I can do this all day long. That's what we're going to keep doing.
If we go by the hour, then Peyton might have to drop like 5 more super chats, and then the whole chat will just keep on going. But no, the Talkin VAWLS community, that's one thing I've always noticed, man. It's a strong empire. I mean, 780 people strong right now waiting for a commitment of a 4-star athlete. Doesn't get any better than Vol Nation, even in the offseason, man. So,
yeah, I get to do this every single day. This is my job. I get to talk Tennessee football every single day because of the chat. Bubba Shrum gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We appreciate you, Bubba. Matthew Lefevre, again, for another 5, says, introduce pals during on-site visits equals 5-star recruits. Maybe they need to put a pals in Knoxville. Ball Scoops, have you ever had pals? I don't even know where you're at. Have you ever had pals?
I'm in Nashville, so I have not had. I mean, I've had pals when I'm out there, coming to Knoxville for games and football games, but we do not have a pals here in Nashville. It's not my local establishment. But I've heard y'all getting like an In-N-Out.
Do we have an In-N-Out? I've never had it.
Is it making its way to Knoxville? Am I wrong there, chat? Y'all can let me know. But I think In-N-Out is making its way to Knoxville.
I don't need In-N-Out when I've got pals in my backyard. I just go get me a big pal with cheese, add bacon, large Frenchy fry, a little bourbon, maybe a little bourbon to go with it.
So you're saying you're in Nashville. What do you think about the comments about Vandy running Tennessee and getting that Nashville hop going?
Oh man, I don't know.
What was the reaction locally?
Busting with the Boys is obviously, in my opinion, a hard watch. I'm not the biggest Busting with the Boys fan, but just in general, just hearing like him talk about that, I feel like obviously the Tennessee comment made its ways around first, but then talking about, Nebraska and Purdue. And I mean, he really went after everyone on his schedule. It was just really strange in my opinion, but there was a lot of talk about that, given that I do have some family members in the mid-state that are some Vandy fans. And even my boss is sadly a Vandy fan. And for some reason, they think that this Diego Pape is the truth. But no, I think even with, a lot of questions about this Tennessee football team going into this year, that we don't lose to Vanderbilt in Knoxville.
I was curious what the local
Tennessee fans, way more Tennessee fans in Nashville than there are Vanderbilt.
I would imagine so.
100%.
Let's talk about 2025. Let's talk about the schedule. Like, obviously, you lose QB1, everybody panics, which it makes me laugh because obviously you're very active on Twitter. You see everything, and it's like this same group of people that said Nico sucked and Nico wasn't who we thought he was, and Nico's this, Nico's that. Like, they hated on Nico. But then he transfers out, and now all of a sudden we're going 4-8 because now we don't have Nico. And it's like, which one is it? Does he suck, or is he the golden child, and now we can only win 4 games with him? But I can throw the schedule up on the screen here. I've talked a whole lot about doing the 3 things Josh Heupel's never done. Can you beat Georgia, period? Can you beat Alabama on the road? Can you beat Florida on the road? We've seen Josh Heupel struggle and lose games on the road that maybe he shouldn't have. But you look at the schedule for 2025, you look at the amount of talent that we have coming back. What do you think this 2025 season looks like?
Yeah, I'm personally in the middle of 9-3 and 10-2 in my personal opinion. I mean, I think the three that you mentioned, obviously Georgia, Florida, and Bama on the road, Florida in the swamp, it being different this year, being the second to last game before you do go to Nashville or before you do host Vanderbilt in Knoxville. Georgia, the third game of the season, when you have a guy that like Joey Aguilar, who is the presumed starter for the 2025 Vols, a guy that's probably sweating to learn the playbook, trying to get things ready. I mean, overall, I'm leaning 9-3, but I can still see a 10-2, man. I think this Tennessee defense, obviously, you lost guys like James Pierce, in the first round of the NFL drafts. But I mean, Tim Banks' defense has been getting, better year after year. Personally, I'm leaning 9-3, but Tennessee can, win that game in the swamp or even go on the road to Bryant-Denny. I mean, you just need one of those three. And I mean, we've seen it. I mean, Josh Heupel has gone out there. He's a gamer. He doesn't care about the betting spread. He doesn't care about what, Vegas is saying. He's going to go out there and, and compete every single week. And I think he'll have that team ready to play. Does Tennessee get one of those games? We'll have to see. But 9-3 and 10-2 after the offseason, losing your quarterback, the whole, Nico Iamaleava saga, that's a success in my books.
So breaking that down with those two, obviously one being Georgia, I would imagine. Is there two other games that you're sweating the most? Like, do you see Alabama being a bigger threat, or at Florida being a bigger threat? Like, if you had to lean one way or the other, where do you see Tennessee, and where do you think they would have more struggles, in Bryant-Denny or in the swamp?
I mean, it is. I mean, Florida personally, like they go on a crazy run before Tennessee goes to the swamp. But we know the curse of Tennessee having to go to the swamp, and that's just a thing in its own. What Tennessee and where Tennessee is at, in the season when we get to those last 2 weeks before we play Florida and Vanderbilt, that's to figure out. But I mean, me personally, I mean, Alabama has a quarterback problem just like we do. Jalen Milroe leaving, you got Ty Simpson. I mean, Keelan Russell's there. I mean, there's question marks there what they're going to be. I mean, Kalen DeBoer, in my opinion, is on the hot seat. You can't lose 2 to 3 games in Tuscaloosa and have that fan base on your side. It's been a question mark for him. Obviously taking over for Nick Saban, but I mean, Georgia week 3, I feel like the struggles of Joey football. You obviously get Syracuse and ETSU first, but you get your first real test in the SEC in week 3. I mean, against the Georgia team that Kirby Smart is going to have ready to play no matter what.
With another unproven quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they don't know
which
Carson
is kind
Beck.
of a theme across the SEC right now.
Yeah, no Carson Beck, no Gunnar Stockton. But I mean, that Georgia defense and Kirby Smart, I feel like they'll have them ready to play. But I mean, if I'm just looking on paper, going to the swamp, second to last week of the season, I'm circling that one because I feel like no matter what, Tennessee's going to have, demons to battle, and not just on the field but off it.
Yeah, you bring up Georgia and their defense, and they're going to be ready to play, and it's like I feel the same way about Tennessee. That's what I'm kind of like you. Like 9-3 is what I truly believe, and I think if you can go 9-3 when QB1 hits the portal the day of the spring game, like name a team in the country that wouldn't be impacted by that. QB1 bounces the day. So he goes through all of spring camp, taking all the reps with the ones, getting all that chemistry, all that timing, and then he bounces. Like name a team in the SEC that wouldn't be impacted by that. But you can look at Georgia and be like, oh, they're going to be fine, that Georgia defense. Well, guess what? Now we got that Tennessee defense. And I don't know how you feel about Tim Banks. I'm a huge Tim Banks fan.
Yeah.
And I think people that hate on Tim Banks are insane. I think this defense last season was elite, and I think they're going to be elite again. And I get it. We lost James Pierce, but guess what? Josh Josephs is ready. He is ready. Oh, if he's not, Caleb Herring is ready. I don't know what's going on with Jordan Ross. I've seen some stuff saying that he's got some issues going on, but bottom line is Coach G is recruited at an elite level on the defensive line. They're loaded. Coach Inge is now mirroring that. He is recruiting linebackers at an elite level. Somebody today said, oh, yeah, the entire secondary is full of 3-stars. Excuse me, sir. Do you want to talk about Jamal McCoy? Do you want to talk about Colton Hood? Do you want to talk about Boo Carter? I mean, do you want to talk about Ricky Gibson? I mean, I like – you can scream this 3-star nonsense narrative, or you can talk about facts and reality. I think this Tennessee defense is going to be pretty dang good in 2025, but I'm with you. I'm like, I see 9-3, 10-2 is possible. I truly believe that Tennessee can go 10-2, but there are some issues that scare people on the offensive line. Me?
Yeah.
I'm not scared about the offensive line. I think Sam Pendleton is a dude. That dude's a 40-year-old accountant that's ready to rip some heads off. I loved hanging out with him, talking with him. I love his mindset. I love his family. And I think Wendell Moy, like those two guys have played a lot of football, but they also have a lot of football in front of them, which excites me. The questions for me, William Satterwhite, David Sanders. You can talk about the wide receiver room. Scoops, you can talk about the wide receiver room. I think the talent level is raised. The depth is maybe not there. So when you look at the roster, when you look at are you concerned about the offensive line? Are you concerned about the secondary? Are you concerned about that wide receiver room going into 2025? By the way, he's going to answer that. I did see that Legend Bay is going to go live on his Instagram at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we're 19 minutes away from a decision. He is going to choose between Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. I didn't know this was going to become a hangout and Vols Scoops is going to be on the show, but this has been a lot of fun. So let's talk about the offensive line, the wide receivers, all the question marks.
Yeah, 7 Central or 8 p.m. confirmed Eastern. But yeah, I mean, me personally, you look at the losses, right? I mean, you see Dylan Sampson. We lost Dylan Sampson. We lost James Pierce. I mean, we lost Dante Thornton. You know, Tennessee. There's a lot of guys that left, but I mean, there's also a lot of talent on this roster. I feel like the blue chip percentage is slowly going up under Josh Heupel in this era. But when I look at the offensive line, me personally, Boogie, the biggest loss for this team was Cooper Mays. And that's just because the center play, I mean, when we saw Cooper wasn't the center, I mean, the offensive line breaking down, whether it was pre-snap penalties or, you know, giving up sacks. Or, I mean, given that Tennessee obviously has also had, you know, depth issues there, but now I feel like that's, in my opinion, on paper, I'm more confident with the offensive line going into this year. But when I look at, you know, issues and things that bother my eye, you got a young guy like William Satterwhite who's going to be the presumed starter at center. And I mean, that's you know, just in the SEC, he was a big recruiting battle win over Clemson. But now having, you know, put the pads on, go out and play center in the SEC in a fast tempo offense like the Josh Heupel offense, you don't really have any room for error. I mean, when you get behind and, you know, things don't go your way and then, you know, pre-snap penalties, it's really hard. We've seen those struggles with Tennessee on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, that's going to be one to kind of really figure out. And I mean, in the wide receiver room, yeah, I mean, you lost guys. You lost Chaz Nimrod. You lost Caleb Webb. You lost Squirrel White. I mean, the transfer exodus, you know, left us questioning the coaching staff and just roster things. There's a lot of, you know, head scratches and stuff like that. But, I mean, you saw the spring game, man. You got, you know, Radarius Jackson. You got Travis Smith Jr. You got Chris Brazzell year 2 in the offense. I mean, there's so many guys that are going to have that chance to really be able to flourish. And I mean, I'm probably missing names off the top of my head. Just
Staley's going to step up, I think, too.
Braylon Staley would definitely step up. And I mean, you saw last year where Tennessee wasn't really confident in those guys, and, you know, guys, you know, having to rely on like a walk-on going into Columbus just because of the mass exodus before the college football playoff game. I mean, you really have to compete with the roster, but 2, the biggest part is retaining your players. And I feel like Tennessee, for the most part, did a really good job with that in the offseason. But you look at the freshman guys and the inexperience, and it does have a lot of question marks. But the good news is they're going to be thrown out there immediately. I mean, Josh Heupel isn't shy with his wide receiver rotations or his running back rotations. And these guys, even though you have a lot of question marks of what the running back is going to be like, the room is going to be like without Dylan Sampson, or, you know, what the wide receiver room is going to be like with all these incoming freshmen. I think, yeah, you're going to kind of figure out immediately. But with Josh Heupel's offense, it's pretty much based on production, whether, you know, the X's and O's, the scheme itself is going to produce. And I think no matter who you have on that field, they're going to be able to go out there and do their job.
How do you get – well, we can cover a couple things there, but, like, just real quick on the last thing you said there, how do you guys feel about Heupel's usual rotation where he seems to only play – maybe 3 receivers, 4 receivers, and he kind of sticks with that regardless of who the hot hand is versus say like Coach Garner, who'll rotate 15 guys if he wants to. I know it's not exactly position for position comparison there, but I really wish I'd like to see maybe Kelsey Pope take some of those cues from Coach Garner, where it's like get some of those younger guys in, get them more playing time, because you end up with a year like this year where you're going to have to play those guys. And you look back and it's like, oh, they just have a handful of reps, of in-game reps. Do you think that's more advantage to have that consistency with just those 3 or 4 guys, or would it be better to get those young guys in regardless of their mistakes?
Let me piggyback on that before you answer, because this goes back to Cody Burns, Alex Golish. This was happening before Kelsey Pope took over, before Joey Halsley is this a hype thing?
Yeah.
It's because it goes beyond the position coaches.
Well, you think maybe in those years the depth of talent maybe
wasn't
a
little less than what it
You're
was.
right. You know, there was a little more of a drop off. But when you're bringing in these like top tier blue chip kind of receivers, why not get them on the field? Just tagging that in there.
It's really weird because he's like the exact opposite with his running backs. I mean, like everybody, you know, whether it's like,
Exactly.
you know, Dylan Sampson, Deshaun Bishop, or I mean, you even saw guys like, you know, Cameron Selden or like even Laneith Whitehead when he was here. I mean, he wasn't shy of giving guys reps and stuff like that. But when it comes to the wide receiver room, I mean, you got those three guys and the first, you know, reason is always going to be like, oh, it's because Josh Heupel and the tempo. But everyone's known that the last few years of quarterback play, the tempo has kind of been slowing down. So, I mean, you want to say that. And that's like really my excuse of like the whole entire scheme of just trying to go fast and getting these DBs not being able to line up with your routes when you're running tempo, and just those guys of being able to also adjust and get their cardio right of, you know, having to go play after play. Because Josh Heupel, as a wide receiver, like everyone has like a choice route, like whenever they're doing the Josh Heupel offense, and people didn't know. So I mean, every time they go out there on every single play, they have two routes they can run. That's going to be based off the defense and the scheme of what defense you're really seeing. So I mean, it's having those guys adjust and just kind of knowing, I mean, keeping your best guys on the field, whether or not. But when you have young guys like now, I mean, maybe they do have to go and get that rotation side, whether it does take a few seconds or gives the defense time to adjust to the personnel. Tennessee's going to have to do different things this year. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of two tight end wide things, a lot of going back to the, you know, schemes we saw in 2022 and 2023.
Look, okay, to piggyback off that, you think about the running back room, and you talk about how we've consistently rotated, got a lot of guys in there, got a lot of guys, reps, young guys across the board, doesn't matter. Well, if you take a room on the offense that you're most confident in, for me, it's the running back room. 100%. Now, is it because just the talent level? Is it because of the scheme? Or is it because we got those guys in early? And then you look at the wide receiver room, and that may be the slowest room in Hop's offense to seem to develop, or not necessarily just develop, but to come to complete fruition, get on the field, start making plays. And we always talk about, well, it takes 2 years. It takes 2 years. Well, that can't just be a thing consistently. I mean, yeah, if we keep rotating guys, sure. But like, if you're only rotating a select few, it's like you're restarting each year versus take the running back room. We're just reloading. I mean, regardless if you get the number one running back in the country or not, I feel comfortable with that stable, maybe over any other position group on the team, but especially on offense.
I think scheme is everything with the running backs. Like you spread them out wide. It's a numbers game, right? It's like how many guys are in the box. Okay, we've got the numbers advantage. We're going to run the football. I think running backs are always going to eat in this offense. You've led the conference in rushing the last 2 years, and I get it. I mean, you had some studs in that running back room. I'm not worried about the running back room at all this year, at all. I'm really not worried about the wide receivers either, as long as they stay healthy. But it's the SEC.
Let's not even put that mojo out there.
You got a young running back coach with Darrell Sims. Obviously, you had Jerry Mack, you know, previously, who's now the head coach at Kennesaw State. But I mean, Darrell Sims obviously coming in, learning the Josh Heupel system. And I mean, you talk about you don't need the stars in the running back room. Deshaun Bishop, he was all, you know, going to Coastal Carolina or, you know, App State. I mean, he was severely underranked, but he was a guy that was won Mr. Tennessee football at Carnes. Like everyone knew that he was in Knoxville's backyard and the talent that he held. And now, I mean, everything's, you know, the reins are going to be given to him this year. And that's a guy that I feel like you go out there and put on the field. He's going to make plays. And as you've seen him in this offense, you know, kind of getting, you know, used to this offense, even against SEC play, you were seeing him have, you know, really big runs against Oklahoma. He really showed out. Those were some, you know, a huge breakup for him, especially when Tennessee, you know, you got young guys in there like Peyton Lewis, who was an all-star track guy in the state of Virginia, but now he's in year 2. I feel like he's going to make a really big jump. And I didn't even mention Duke transfer Star Thomas yet, who's going to bring a whole new look to this offense just from his behind the, you know, the field thing. Does Tennessee implement some more halfback screens that they haven't done really a lot in the Josh Heupel offense, but a guy like Star Thomas, who is, you know, had some, you know, big flashes in the ACC at Duke. So that's a guy that I'm definitely watching. And I mean, the young guys, man, Justin Baker, that's one to definitely watch. And I mean, if we get to 7 p.m. Central, when, you know, Penn, you know, gets the paper after signing day with Legend Bay, that's a guy that I want to see in Wildcat. That's a guy that's, you know, making moves and stuff like that. There's Tennessee. I don't know if y'all noticed the last few days, man, but the speed, like just overall speed
and athleticism.
I mean, it's kind of giving me like resemblance of what Josh Heupel was doing at UCF before he came here when he didn't have more talent, but now he has that extra 15 roster spots where he can go and take a chance on a diamond in the rough. I mean, you see the talent, and like I think that's going to pay off with the talent evaluation. But getting back to, like, just the overall scheme and, this season, you got those young guys now where a lot of people were they were really mad when Tennessee wasn't really active in the transfer portal. Like, we're like, oh, what is Tennessee doing? Why aren't they doing these guys? But I mean, you ask the staff and you talk to anyone on, close to the program, and they're going to bank on their recruits 100% of the time before they, go and, find a guy in the portal. So I think they're excited about the guys they got. And I mean, whether they produce or not, we'll have to see. But I mean, the scheme wise, I'm banking on our guys. Like, I mean, I think in the top, half of the SEC in talent. I mean, Tennessee is still up there in the top, 15 to 20 teams in the program and overall talent. I mean, whether they lost their number 1 ranked 5-star quarterback or not, whether he's, back home in Cali or not. I think overall that maybe was the big picture, but I think Tennessee is really happy with what they got right now.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's like what makes Hop's offense go. It's these athletes in space. Put elite athletes in space. And, I mean, look from the way we spread out, the way we line up, everything, speed, athletes in space, and then we just got to have somebody feed them the ball. That's why I'm not as worried about Joey Swagular. Like, I think it's not so much what he can do, it's what we're going to ask him to do. And I think if he can just feed them the ball, get these athletes in space, we're going to be just fine.
I think he's coming in as a game. I love Joey Aguilar, obviously, as an App State guy. I love Joey, man. I think he's a gamer. He's a competitor. I don't like that he's got 4 months to learn the offense. Yeah. I would have felt way better if he transferred in before the spring and went through spring camp. And like, I feel like we're kind of in cruise control. I feel like we rewound time, like the year that Joe Milton was quarterback. It's like we're in cruise control, and Nico's going to come in and be that guy. I feel like once again we're in cruise control. And that being said, I still think we could make the college football playoff, but we'll see what happens. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. We got a couple here. Bubba Shrum gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. Shout out, Bubba. We appreciate you, brother. He's gifting all the Talkin VAWLS memberships.
I mean, he's on fire, man. Look at Bubba.
Mean, if you're not a member of the channel, what are you doing with your life? Like you can become a member for $1, $1. I saw somebody on VolQuest. This is like a year ago. Was like, how in the world does this idiot make money on YouTube? There's no way he's paying his bills. I've heard that I'm a trust fund kid. I've heard that my wife makes all the money. I've heard it all. And somebody said, well, I don't know, man. If like half of his subscribers were members of the channel, he'd be making like 15 grand a month. I'm like, yes. Can we get to that? Can we get to 15 grand a month? Yeah, let's get those memberships coming because we're nowhere close to 50%. So hit that join button, man. We appreciate you guys. Matthew Lefevre is doing the Lord's work. He says $2. We got this defensively and offensively. Luke Thompson for 2 says late fee. GBO, appreciate you, brother. Parker Rocky Top Customs, been a member for 21 months. All that matters is GBO. That's all I know. Peyton K for 10. It's simple. If we can connect downfield on some of the go routes like we were in 22, we can win 10 games. If we see overthrows and interceptions and have to defend solely on the running game, it could be bad. Look, if I'm Josh Heupel, I'm pulling in Tristan Keys, and I'm pulling in Legend Bay, and I'm pulling in FaZe. I'm pulling in all these guys. I'm saying, you see this? Do you see what I'm scheming up? And it's wide open. All you got to do is throw the ball and catch the ball. It's simple.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, knowing the QB guru that Josh Heupel is, I mean, everyone, pointed to, I call him Jose Aguilar, because that's his real name. But I feel like, everyone talks about his, turnover percentage and everything when they see the App State highlights. But Josh Heupel is a guy that goes out there and puts his quarterbacks in the best chance to win. And I mean, if it's an overthrow, I'll take that any other day if it's not a turnover. And I mean, that's a guy that's obviously going to get better with this scheme. He only has 4 weeks, before fall camp to really learn it before all things are on go. But I feel like that's a guy that in this system, that those limitations that you thought were really bad at App State, you might see an improvement on just in this Josh Heupel offense, and he knows what he's kind of dealing with. I mean, if you don't think he's going to go out there and scheme his guys to be the best they can be, you haven't been seeing Josh Heupel work. He's a guy that's going to go out there and find a way to put this roster together.
I think Tennessee fans might be getting exactly what they've been asking for too for years. Basically since 21, we've been wanting guys to take shots down the field. I think Joey's that guy, right? Joey's not going to be afraid to swing it. So be careful what you ask for. It might be you might bring some turnovers with it, man. But I think you're going to get exactly what you're asking for. So buckle up.
Yeah, and I mean, y'all probably covered it on Talking Vols and stuff, but the thing that App State football program went through last year with the hurricanes that swept through North Carolina and the coast. I mean, there was guys on the roster that had season-ending injuries. He lost his best wide receiver. I mean, I think they had a crazy story with one of the offensive linemen there. I mean, it was not pretty for App State, and it's obviously we've known at Tennessee. We've had some moments that have not been pretty, but he's a guy that goes out there and slings it, puts his body on the line, and he had to be a Superman kind of guy for App State. And a lot of people don't realize that Nico going back home to California, that was one thing going back to UCLA, but he was a California guy too, going back and trying to go home and play for UCLA as well. So, I mean, it was a big shock for him having to go out there and do what's best for him. And I mean, immediately when you saw that UCLA destination, a lot of people pointed to Joey Aguilar. So, I mean, he's a guy that I feel like a lot of Tennessee guys, college Tennessee fans, one of the guys that's going to, be all about Vol Nation, go out there, put his body on the line, just be a stand-up dude that doesn't really care, about the money. Yeah, he's making a pretty penny because he's playing at Tennessee, but that wasn't the reason. He wants to come out here and ball out, and, I mean, he's had a story for himself. So I think he's obviously going to have a lot of energy, and that's the best thing given all the things Tennessee has had to deal with in this offseason.
Man, I saw him throw for 300 yards against Georgia State, and it was the first game back in Kid Brewer Stadium after the storms. And it's like that place was packed. They have a passionate fan base. And by the way, should I spoil this? Joey A may have a little tie to a certain coaching tree that we're going to expose real soon. So buckle up and stay tuned for that. Tathula has been a member of the channel for 22 months. It's easy to support, but don't forget the store. I own a lot of the tank tops. I appreciate that, Tathula. Yeah, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can pick up a sweet shirt like this one right here that says Buck Fama. I mean, go get that bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Let's talk about the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, because he went to Twitter and said, hey, bro. I mean, I know what you guys see, but what I read in this tweet is, Boogie, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that it's Central Time. Yeah. He says, we're going live on Instagram. Legend Bay, 4-star athlete scheduled to come off the board. Do me a favor. We got almost 1,000 people watching right now. If you've not hit the thumbs up, do that. Even if you're pissed because we wasted an hour of your time. I thought it's been a great show, hanging out with Ball Scoops, talking recruiting, talking football. This is what we do on the Talkin VAWLS Network. So hit the thumbs up and then share out the link. Go to Twitter, just hit share, go to Twitter and say, decision incoming within 4 minutes. Come join Boogie and the boys right now. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Tell Tom over on MySpace to put you in his top 8 and let him know that we're about to break down this commitment. We're going to go over to his Instagram live here in just a second. Legend Bay, 4-star athlete, ranked just outside the on 300 with the industry rankings. It's Duke, Ohio State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and West Virginia. We asked Faison Brandon, when I say we, other people at the Elite 11, who are you recruiting? He says TK and Legend Bay. I think he is a priority for this offense. Ball Scoops, what do you think about Legend Bay just as a gamer? And then we're going to switch over to his Instagram here in just a couple of minutes.
I mean, that's what you said. Like, man, he's a gamer-esque. This is a guy that's like a straight baller. Every week he goes up there on the field, is going to go out there and play. I mean, he's a guy that obviously y'all showed the tape. He's all about speed, his footwork, 8-time All-American track guy in the state of Texas. That's one thing people don't know. I mean, that's my boy Miles. That's crazy. But I mean, a guy that's, definitely done the work. A guy that, I feel like you see top 15 athlete in the country, top 300 player in the class. But when you watch the film, Boogie, this is a guy that I feel like, he might just even be underranked. And even as a quarterback, a guy that's, willing to make that switch to go to be a wide receiver or go to be an athlete at the next level to play at an SEC school, like Tennessee or A&M or Ohio State, wherever he does choose. But that's a guy that I feel like, he can go out there and be versatile in many, many ways. And I mean, you watch the film, you look and you see it. I mean, at quarterback, he's very Hendon Hooker or Lamar Jackson-esque, just with his QB option and, being able to use his speed as an advantage. A guy that I feel like Tennessee is going to be really happy about. And if he does make it to Tennessee and he does make pen to paper, I mean, this is a guy that I would not, want to see lined up in the backfield, because I think Tennessee could use him as a real threat. 5'10", 170, but his speed is off the charts. And it sounds like we're getting an even better a guy, human being, and a really good athlete. Sounds like Tennessee hopefully can try to lock in Legend Bay, but you're battling elite programs like Texas A&M, Ohio State, Duke, and West Virginia. If Tennessee can add this one, I think they're getting a dog.
By the way, Mrs. Coach J, if you're in the chat, we got to get that camera ready. I'm just saying, get that camera ready for Coach.
Doing a backflip. No, he doesn't say flip. He just says jump. That's weak sauce. Can we get a backflip? Come on.
I will say I appreciate y'all having me, having to jump on and fill some time, obviously, with the time zone differences with us and Legend Bay. I've had a lot of screenshots and people being like, OMG, that's you on Talking Vols and stuff. And I apologize for my naked background compared to y'all's. It's kind of a mess right now. I just moved in, but
mine looks like a child lives in my office. It's video games, toys. What are you talking about? By the way,
I appreciate you coming on.
I do appreciate you jumping on too. Like I said, we talked about this a lot. Obviously, you can go follow him at Vol Scoops on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, you pretty much know who he is. But what else are you doing? I think you got a podcast going on. Do some shills, do some plugs. Then we're going to switch over and watch Legend Bay commit.
That's real generous. Yeah, I mean, at Vol Scoops on X and Instagram. We're actually more active on Instagram. Got I think we're nearing 35K or almost 40K on there over there. But you can catch us on Wednesdays. Me and Drew Nicholson and Rob Washington. We do the Vols ATB podcast over on X at Vols_ATB. We're live, once or twice a week, talking Vols just like y'all, for the people, by the people. I mean, you can never get enough talking Tennessee, man. So obviously, I'll have to talk about if y'all want to catch us out there. But the fan base over here at Talkin Vols is absolutely elite. 1,000 live viewers watching us ramble around for an extra hour as we count down to the Legend Bay commitment. I mean, it's just a beauty. So shout out to all y'all.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that think that I don't want other people talking Tennessee football or streaming or making a living. No, what I don't like is backstabbing pricks. I like legit dudes that build their own audience and they put boots to the ground and they work hard, and that's what Vol Scoops does. So I support people like that. Hey, make a living talking Tennessee football. I'm all about it. I'm checking on Legend Bay. He's live. Oh my gosh, it is so loud. When are we look, let me hold on. Let me show you real quick. When are these kids going to learn to turn the phone sideways? Let's take a look.
Oh no.
Oh geez.
Like, when are we going to learn? And it's so loud. It's so loud.
Uh-oh.
Are we all just going to bend for this whole segment? I mean, you got to say, there's no fan base like a Tennessee fan base. We got 1,150 people all sideways right now, staring at their phones, waiting on this commitment.
Yeah, I wish, and I don't know how to mute it either. People try to yell at me and tell me. I got no clue. I don't think she has a clue what she's showing on the screen right now.
It's not Sunday, Bug.
I know, sorry. I'm gonna keep my eyes on that. Goodness gracious, blaring music, sideways camera. What are we doing with our lives? I at least called out Big Ant when Big Ant was on the show Wednesday. I'm like, bro, turn your phone sideways.
I wanted to help him with that glare so bad, and there's nothing I could say.
It took his mom. It took his mom getting to the chat saying, "Hey, it looks awful. Can you fix this real quick?"
Hey, maybe we can get Legend on, do a little interview for putting us off for an hour. Maybe give us that hour back.
I'm sorry. Did you say something? Did you say maybe Legend Bay could come on? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we can make that happen. We'll see. We'll see if we can make that happen. Rizzy for 2 says he's live right now. We got it tuned in, dialed in. Jim Slagle for 2, getting my June football fix. Prayers for Jay's dad. Appreciate you, Jim. Bubba Shrum for 5 says picks where it didn't happen, Coach Jay. Yeah, he's going to be doing a cannonball, a backflip, something. Okay, here we go. Man, oh man. I wish he was streaming it somewhere else. I wonder if it's on his Twitter.
I'm not a fan of Instagram Live at all.
Yeah, it's not on.
I think X only listed Instagram. So
I bet that removed the audio for you guys, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, but
it removed it for you, and I just hear people screaming in my headset right now.
Boogie taking one for the people, man.
Better you than us, dog. You got this.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the level we're at too is just kind of.
I think the biggest thing about this, obviously, we want this to go Tennessee's way, but if it does go Tennessee's way, like you said, Boogie, I mean, this is not one of the few that, you know, Hayes, Fawcett, and VolQuest and those guys working like heck made to the public. This is one Tennessee's been working on the last 24, 48 hours against elite programs like A&M and Ohio State. I mean, really don't know where this is going to go, or, I mean, which way it's going to lean. It's really a 3-4-way battle. Obviously, you got Duke and West Virginia in there too, but this is one where people have been working like heck, as Fulmer would say.
And what a change in a week, right? Like you feel one way, then you feel the other way.
Dude,
regardless
what a change
of how
in 24 hours.
Right, yeah. I mean, regardless how confident or not you are, just the sway. And like you said, even in 24 hours time, what could happen?
And how many times have you seen this? If it does go Tennessee's way, obviously you wanted to, you know, Tennessee to get this commitment, but I mean, there's been a lot of times here recently where it doesn't go Tennessee's way. So obviously trying to, you know, lock in a class and lock in a guy, locking in a commitment, man, it's hard. Cause like you said, the behind the scenes of the last, you know, week, especially the 24, 48 hours, it's that these guys are working like heck. So, I mean,
somebody in the chat brings up a good point. They say, why does he have 2 Tennessee hats? Is he trying to tell us something? But if you look at the screen, there's a Tennessee hat.
Yeah.
Tennessee logo here.
His apparel, yeah.
Oh, there's a West Virginia logo there.
Oh, I was blind. Okay, good find.
Yeah.
I thought.
What about the 2 Tennessee footballs on the side?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I mean, is that just because that's what they had laying around? I'm just curious.
Nash Squat says, I've got a bad feeling. No OSU. That was just a top 5. That was just a top 5.
I'll say it, man. He may be barely cracking the top 300. He may be a top 15 athlete in the 2026 class, and obviously people want the 5-star. But I feel like, you know, this is an athlete guy that no matter where he goes, he's gonna be a crazy athlete on the next level. I mean, I feel like a guy that's a complete dog. I mean, his speed is absolutely crazy. Not sure. I mean, these commitments are never on time, but we know the kid's got to have their moment. The kid's got to have their moment, but it feels like the script is never perfect.
Well, yeah,
my wife is always like, can we make plans? Can we schedule something? And I'm like, I got to see what this 17-year-old kid does first.
Well, yeah, I may or may not have said earlier that, you know, it'll be pretty quick. It's a little after 7. You know, I'll probably be rolling off here. That was 7 Eastern. That was an hour, 10 minutes ago.
Shout out Luke Thompson for 5. Hey, Boogie, if this is on a tab, you can mute the tab in the top left of the tab where the sound icon shows up. Yeah, I figured that out. I got it muted now.
And I'm curious, like you brought up what he's ranked now. I'm curious what it'd be in, like, say, December, January. What's his ranking look like then? Where does he close? I mean, I know automatically as soon as if he were to pick Tennessee, that ranking will drop out the gate, and then you'll have to work it back up. I know how that works for us Tennessee fans, but where do you think he finishes?
I mean, obviously Texas football is something they look at crazy just because of talent in Texas. Georgia, Florida is obviously, you know, comparable to the rest of the country of how elite they are. But I mean, I feel like Legend Bay is a guy that has a lot of buzz. You look at Zayden Anderson, who committed today, and he's a guy that doesn't go to camps a lot, but he has a legit 10-500 speed. Guy that just doesn't go to camps, and I feel like it's going to be a really good pickup for Tennessee, whatever side of the ball he plays on. But with Legend Bay, he's gone, you know, the OT7 camps, been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I mean, his official visit was here with, you know, Faison Brandon and Tristan Key. So obviously he has an understanding that he won't be playing quarterback here. He'll be, like, you know, kind of making that transition role, knowing that Faison is the lead recruiter of this class, and, you know, seeing the overall buzz that he's had coming out of the OT7 and the past few weeks at the, you know, the Elite 11 camps. I think he was there catching 2. So, I mean, just overall, he's been having a lot of buzz. It's the name that a lot of staffs have been trying to close on as, you know, the decision winds down here in the next however so minutes. But he's a guy that I feel like these recruiting rankings, like on 3 and 24/7, I think 247 just now converted him to an athlete from quarterback. So he's definitely going to get a bump on these sites, whether, you know, he commits to Tennessee, A&M, Ohio State. It's really weird, though, now that he points it out, there's only Tennessee, Duke, A&M, and Virginia. That's kind of kind of interesting.
Well, we kind of seen that with Anderson too, right? Like, play a lot of wide receiver, but then Tennessee's going to take him as a DB, right? And like a lot of these guys are transitioning to word and taking Tennessee's word for it and listening to the coaches and trying to put themselves in the best position to succeed. And if you can succeed in the SEC on the biggest stage, like, I mean, that's going to be the best foot forward, right?
For 100%. And I mean, you got guy like, you know, obviously with Legend Bay, Boogie, if you're like going into your senior year of high school and you're already an 8-time All-American track athlete, how is that possible? Like 8-4, obviously
the 100 and the 200 4 years in a row or something.
This guy is winning. Like he's an elite athlete, obviously, and elite speed and versatility. So a guy that, you know, these elite programs won him for a reason. He's definitely going to be able to go into the college level. If Tennessee's able to pull this off, the last quarterback that transitioned to a wide receiver worked out pretty well. Different body type, different versatility, but same dog.
Same dog, right?
I'll be right back in 2 seconds. You guys hang out. If he comes on and commits while I'm gone, I'm going to kill myself. On Minecraft.
On Minecraft.
In game.
I mean, we just keep seeing. Are you seeing the same trends I'm seeing, where it's just commit after commit? It's just athleticism and speed. Athleticism and speed. I mean, you go across the board. It doesn't really matter exactly what position. It seems like they have one track mind and just putting the best athletes out there they can, regardless of their history at whatever position.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like there's like a lot of guys last year's class that they added secretly that a lot of people kind of, you know, closed their eyes to or kind of shoved the shoulder. But I mean, like Tim Merritt, Sidney Walton, those guys in the DB room, those are guys that were, you know, 3-4-star guys that Tennessee was able to win over elite programs, but also, you know, diamond in the rough, kind of taking a chance on guys that a lot of schools and programs maybe didn't have a spot for that they invested in. So, I mean, you're seeing the speed and versatility, especially with the scheme, the kind of offense Josh Heupel runs. If you get a guy like Legend Bay and then a guy like Zay Anderson, who they said that even though he is a 3-star athlete playing in Greenville, Tennessee, doesn't go to a lot of camps, but as soon as the staff saw him on campus and got his measurables and watched some film, they gave him the offer immediately. He could run with anyone in the SEC. And I mean, a lot of people didn't know Ricky Gibson. A lot of people didn't know Jermod McCoy before he was, you know, at, you know, Oregon State. So, I mean, there's these staff has done a great job evaluating people and these prospects, but now with the, you know, the extra scholarships, you can kind of just go ahead and be like, okay, I want to take a chance. I do have a spot for you if you hop in now, and you're seeing that happen. And I mean, if you get your spot and you hop in, I mean, Tennessee's willing to keep you and, you know, invest in you as a player. But you saw it happen where offensive lineman Brandon Anderson, he was committed to Tennessee out of, you know, North Cobb, Georgia. He decommitted. Now he's coming up with a decision. Tennessee took Edward Baker yesterday. So, I mean, that's one to watch if they have a spot. So, I mean, I think they're doing it the right way. The staff is working like heck, but the way they've been able to evaluate talent, and now, like I said earlier when I first hopped on, the run they're going on and how they're doing it with recruiting wise is not by coincidence. I mean, Josh Heupel definitely has his, you know, hashtag GBO tweets planned, and these visits, man, they've been working like heck, man. It's been a really good 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, you've kind of seen that trend since Heupel's been here. Like a lot of time, even early when they didn't have the momentum they have now or hadn't proved themselves yet, a lot of times you saw like Tennessee would get in on these kids early. Maybe they're still 3 stars or whatever they may be, or even unranked, and they find these kids, and then all of a sudden everybody else gets in on them late. But Tennessee made that push early and has got a lot of these kids in the boat in the past couple recruiting classes just because they've been evaluating so well.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick. I went upstairs. My wife's like, what are you doing? You've been live for 2 hours waiting on him to commit. He's on Instagram Live and you're pissing. What are you doing? Bubba Shrum for 2 says, shout out to my dad, James Shrum. What's up, James? Marco Woods for 5. That's a super sticker. We appreciate that. Thank you, Marco. Golly, it's just blaring music. I'm trying to balance it. He's still just playing music. Everybody's saying Legend Bay is holding 1,200, now 1,300 Vol fans hostage. This is what high school recruiting is, boys. You never know when or if they're going to commit.
We learned one thing when given screenshots and given information from recruits, we need to ask the time zone they will be committing. 7 Eastern, 7 Central. 7
That's already happened to us once, right? Like, luckily the commitment's not here yet, but the one coming up, we almost missed by an hour or two. It's going to be Central time, right?
Yeah, well, you, not me, not we, you were on the wrong time.
You're
zone.
running this
I
thing, so
was
it's
on the
always
right.
you. I don't take any blame.
What killed me was AP's the one that said 7 o'clock. It's like, bro, how about Central?
FaceTime
Eastern?
AP. Bring AP on.
He's on vacation. You want me to call him right now? You want me to call him right now?
Wherever
I don't think that's a good idea.
The thing is, obviously, it's 7:15 now, but I mean, no commitment is a lock. I mean, these are elite programs you're battling with, like Ohio State and A&M. So kind of seeing the pause and stuff. I never get easy. Obviously, the last few 24 hours, you can kind of see the trends in this day and age of recruiting, to say, or whatever, just based off visits and based off talks with athletes. But I mean, when it comes to the commitment date, I've seen so much in the last 2 to 3 years in college football recruiting that I just, until I see the announcement or until I see the article posted, I'm clinching. And that's even with having information, like or trying to think that you might know something. A lot of these kids tell you what you want to hear, and then you kind of have to watch it for yourself. So,
dude, I can say this, like, I don't have to sugarcoat this now. I think you probably knew this. I think I told you this. Shady Hayward was going to commit on this channel. Shady Hayward loved Tennessee. Yeah. He was coming on Talkin VAWLS to commit, and then what went down, and he commits to Florida. And it's like you're dealing with 17-year-old kids that are trying to make the best decision for themselves. All right, hold on. What do we got here?
Uh-oh. Oh.
I think we may be on the verge of a decision. Hey, we got 13. Nope, we're going to play some more music. We got 1,300 people watching. If you like Tennessee volleyball, you love photography, you watch recruiting, you want to come hang out with us during the regular season. We do post-game shows. We do tailgate shows. We're live every Wednesday, every Sunday, Monday mornings with Eric Kane of VolQuest.com. Friday mornings, we talk Tennessee football every day. If you're here just for the commitment, think about hitting that subscribe button and coming and joining us for the fans, by the fans. We're not anybody special. We don't know more than you know. We don't pretend to know more than you know. We're just exactly like you. We love Tennessee football, so come join us here. Go give Vols Scoops a follow on Twitter or Instagram at Vols Scoops. He is just like us. We're still waiting on a decision. Vols Girl is in the house. Member for 23 months. Hey, guys, long time no see. Let's close. Go Vols. Good to see you in the chat. Ron the Don for 5. Dorfy. He says Doofy. Doofy, late to the show. Fee, recruiting fee, and good luck for a commit fee. Let's go, Vol family. Let's do it. It's good to see you, Ron the Don, in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. We're still just – I wish I could mute it out of my own dang ears. It's all –
I have a hack. Just take the headphones off, and then you can't hear anything.
I know. I've got it muted for you guys.
He's not listening to us anyway. You don't need those.
I can't hear you guys because it's so effing loud in my ears.
And how late into these recruitments, like day of even, do you think these kids take phone calls, or at least receive phone calls? They may not take them, but you think all these other coaches or other high-profile recruiters are like up to the last minute trying to offer, I'll give you an extra $100,000 or something?
100%. I mean, we go back to the biggest story I go back to is when a few years ago when Arion Carter committed to Tennessee. And,
Orange balloon.
Pete Golden was outside of Smyrna High School trying to recruit him, and he told him to get out of there during his recruitment. I mean, that was absolutely
beating
crazy.
on the front door of the high school, and they wouldn't let him in. By the way, shout out to that super chat. I didn't realize this. I just right clicked on the tab, and now I don't hear anything. It's magical. We figured it out. So shout out to you. Well, hold on. Can you guys hear it if I do this? Or do you guys still not hear anything?
I hear you now.
Oh, now
it's
you
a lot better
it?
than what it was. Yeah.
Okay. So I got to mute both. I got to mute. Okay. But still good.
Just music that time. It's not really. We got something going on back there.
It seems like we have some action.
This is the hardest angle to possibly watch.
Foul-Ming is never coming on for a live commitment again. There was one
and done, baby.
I don't remember who the kid was. It was last cycle that was supposed to commit, but I'd got a tip that he was going to postpone, and other people were live streaming covering it, and then he delayed. I think it was an offensive lineman. I can't remember. And I was like, thank God I did not do that. But hey, here we sit 2 hours and 20 minutes into this live stream. We appreciate you guys. Jamie Roberts has been a member for 34 months. Thank you guys for all the time you put into this content for us diehard Vol fans. Well, we put enough time in for an hour of content, and here we sit at 2 hours in 18 minutes. So we appreciate you guys for understanding what's going down. All right, here we go. What do we got?
Like that.
If he gets me a copyright strike for his music.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't want you to get. Imagine getting deleted for one commitment.
Which it doesn't get deleted. Like if it's music, it just takes the ad revenue, which I want the ad revenue because we got almost 1,500 people watching. But it's not a big deal. It's not like the copyright strike that I got from 247 Sports.
How crazy is it? We're at like almost 1,400 and they're showing what 500 on Instagram.
That is actually crazy.
It's sad. It's sad is what it is, but I don't think they care. I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys who I talked to after the stream. After the.
It's a good time to plug and tell recruits, hey, come on, Talkin Vols. Put your commitment on our channel. You're going to get 3 times the views. Just throwing it out there. And we'll coach you to turn your camera sideways.
Yes. Yep. We'll educate you. James Fair for 2 says spinning wheel. He is leaving it up to chance. Oh God, he's just going to spin the wheel of ideal and see what happens.
Could you imagine?
No way.
Could you imagine?
Yes.
Imagine
look,
it comes down to spin the wheel.
247 Sports did strike us. It was the who was the running back from Arkansas?
Braylon Russell.
Yeah. It was for that one, and they struck us because we had more viewers than they did, and I shared their stream for like 2 minutes, and they copyright struck us. I couldn't stream. I think Mike Matthews committed after that, which we were at Disney, so I wasn't streaming it anyway. I was just going to drop a video when he committed, but it's like, yeah, they knocked us out for 7 days, and which is funny because other imitators, other clowns, other people that are just copying exactly what we do on Talkin Vols have shared their streams, and they've never been struck before. So that's comical to me. 247 Sports, all the crystal balls are still there for Texas A&M, but sit tight. Sit tight. We'll see what happens. We got almost 1,500 people watching. Scott McLaren becomes a member. Shout out, Scott. Appreciate you.
If anybody's also in the Instagram chat, see if you like talk them into rotating that camera. Maybe give them some hints.
I just texted him. For a last second hope to see if I could be like, "Yo, it's sideways, bro."
Or just type in the chat. Shout out Talkin Vols. That'd be cool too.
I added you. I put your ad in there.
Oh, you did, dude. I do not use Instagram. I hate Instagram. I never use it. I post stuff on there, but I never really pay attention. Let's see.
Oh, we got some action. We have Legend Bay in the flesh.
See that center?
Oh, still got music. He's got some swag to him, man. I like him.
He really does.
I like this kid a lot.
What did the kids say? Aura?
Dude, I thought Colton Hood was going to have a little flair to him, just by the way he interacts on Twitter and just what you said. But it's like he is the most humble, respectful, kind person
I really
ever roll through here.
I think he's one of those dudes, man. He just turns it on when he straps it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
puts the pads on. You're a dog, man. You go out there and be an animal. I think Legend Bay.
They got your text. I think they got your text.
No,
wait, hold on.
Wishful thinking.
He saw it. He read it. Your chat's not even updating on the right hand side. It's got stuck. It's so much action.
I'm unmuted. Now we don't have audio.
Quick refresh.
Oh, they may have muted.
They may have muted to turn the music off or something.
Yeah. Sometimes they do that. Coach Jay's in the house. What's up, Coach? Look at this guy.
There he is.
Let's go. Look at Coach Jay.
How many beers did you drink in the last hour?
33.
All
33, baby.
98.
Just 33. And I don't know if you see this wall behind me, but if he commits, I will jump off into said pool.
God, better
Offset
be a
wall.
backflip. Better be a backflip.
And I will try not to hit the pavement.
First commitment that ends in an ER trip. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're here for it.
Shout out Brent Bridges becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Brent. We appreciate you. Over 1,500 people watching, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Appreciate you. Go ahead, boss.
A current unknown or unnamed Tennessee football player of the 2025 class literally sent me a screenshot of me on Talkin Vols. Like, can't wait to see this announcement.
Wait, who said that? You gonna say who? You gonna spoil it?
An unnamed.
Come on, spill the beans.
They spelled his name wrong last year on the visit card.
David Sanders.
Yeah.
Big Dave.
Dude, tell Dave to hit me up. He was supposed to come on the charity stream, and I was texting his dad back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then, like, when we got close, he just ghosted me.
I've
I'm
had
like,
the
okay.
same problem. It's not.
I was like, okay, Dave Sr., I'm not texting you again. Like, I don't want to be that guy that's like so pushy. I also texted Braylon this week, and he ghosted me too. I'm like, thanks, Bray. Thanks, buddy.
That Big Dave's hard at work, man. He's earning that spot early, so
I'd love.
He's got a lot on his plate right now.
Love to get
I feel like a lot of them, as soon as it gets to July, they get in that locked in state where it's just like everything.
Which is good, man.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's what I tell to all of them when I'm like, hey, do you want to come on? It's like, I get it. You guys are busy. You guys are working hard. You guys are grinding. If you don't want to come on, tell me no. Tell me no. Jamie Roberts gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. Appreciate you, Jamie. Guys, keep those memberships coming. It's $1. Get in where you fit in. Ricky D's been a member for 32 months. Shout out Ricky D. MG Way says, is he speaking? No, I've got this. There he goes. They just unmuted it. Here we go.
Come on, legend. Please.
I'm about to turn my camera off and turn my phone up sideways.
Everybody.
So again, I want to say thank you to all the coaches that recruited me through this whole process. And I want to say thank you to my mom, my siblings, coaches, teammates, little brother. You know, he can't guard me too. So. Yeah, but we're going to spin this wheel. We're going to see where I'm going to go.
He's spinning the wheel.
Are they taking teams out? Thank God.
It may take a while to get to that orange. Notice the orange is the smallest one.
Mm-hmm.
Third time the charm news? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. One more time. Let's try one more time. Put a little sauce on it.
By the way, shout out Gary Harper for becoming a member. Shout out Aggressive Crawlers for becoming a member. Appreciate you guys.
Say it one more time.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. A ball, baby. He's a ball.
I'm going to need full screen.
Not me.
Who said that? Oh, Coach Jay. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Don't die. Please don't die.
Please don't die. A 10. A freaking 10.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's a huge one.
Here. Careful. Get on there. I keep going.
Boom. There's the graphic. Look at the graphic, Vol Scoop. Look at Vol Scoop.
Oh, man.
Work. Breaking 4-star athlete Legend Bay has committed to Tennessee. A big one for the good guys. Dude, smash the thumbs up. 1,600 people watching. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're dialed in. Flyfish says, hello, we're celebrating. Gifted 10. That's an effing 10 Talkin VAWLS memberships. Shout out Flyfish. We appreciate you. Seth Binkley for 5. So how long till he comes on? You've been acting a little coy about it, and I think you went AWOL for a second to finalize that. By the way, I talked to Legend today. We followed each other, sent him a DM. I told him to enjoy the night and then hit me up when you commit to the good guys. And he sent back, thank you. So we're working on that. Nothing set in stone yet. Wayne drops a 20 spot. That is an orange boy. We shall play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Wayne just says, go Vol. Shout out, Wayne. Appreciate you, brother. So, yeah, I talked to Legend earlier today, told him to enjoy the night, enjoy the moment, and then hit me up. So I'm going to push. We'll see if we can make it happen. We got a spot open on Wednesday, July the 9th. Wednesday, July the 9th, Dom Bailey is going to be in the house. We'll be hanging out with him. So come join us for that. If you're watching for the first time ever, smash the thumbs up, subscribe, get dialed in. Boys, it's been a fun night. I appreciate shout out especially to Vols Scoops for being in the chat, hanging out with us and jumping on and improv. And it's been a long time coming. Go show him love at Vols Scoops on Twitter, at Vols Scoops over on Instagram. We appreciate you, brother. Coach Jay, I'm glad that you are still alive. I'm glad that you're still alive.
I made it.
I made it, man. Appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Knox Mason becomes a member of the channel. But on that, we're getting out the door. For Foul Ming, for Coach Jay, for Vols Scoops, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
I can't let a $20 super chat go without being mentioned. And Seth, I'm trying to close the show. I'm trying to play the outro. And Seth says, here's $20. Sounds good. Welcome to the family, legend. So shout out, Seth. Appreciate you, brother. Go Big Orange. Hey, you guys want to keep dropping orange, boys? I'll keep coming back. I'll do this all night long. Go Big Orange.
That we call home and it's night and I'm alone and